We are live and having fun here at the Gamers Den. Welcome, everybody. Of course, Mark Lee is there, but we got a newcomer, HXC Max, aka John. You know I can't do that.
No problem. Hi, everybody. How we doing today?
Everybody's doing well. How about yourself? Like I was saying, we got rain here in Durham, North Carolina. It's just been raining and just lovely weather. I know Jacoby's enjoying it as well. He said they're going like this rain is way too much fun and all of that, but it's what we got to deal with.
Yeah, I had to take the dog to camp today because I was not letting her run outside in all the rain and jump in the mud, and then I have to deal with the wife yelling and and then the kids jumping on top of the mud. You know how it goes.
Right, getting the clothes dirty. buy them all new school clothes. School starts here pretty soon, I believe, like fairly soon, because the school supplies are already on Walmart shelves.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think it's like another couple weeks, maybe a month, and back in school. I think.
Oh wow.
Not sure.
Are they going to be strictly all in person, or is it going to be that combination of the hybrid where part virtual and part in person?
He is going back to school this year. Last year he did all remote learning and hated it. And but I mean, honestly, he really did. But yeah, he's pumped to go back. A little nervous because he hasn't seen his friends in a whole year. So he's like, I think they're going to be bigger. I'm like, they're still going to be the same. He's like, I don't know. Bigger humans. He tells everybody humans. They don't. He's like, look, Dad, humans.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
I guess I didn't really do the intro that I normally do.
Right.
I guess we'll do it now. You got to tell everybody about who you are, what you do. Let everybody know about your stream and everything that you're going on. To jump on the Gamers Den.
All righty. My name is John Maxwell, aka HXC Max. I mainly stream on Twitch. I stream all games and any games. I do have some favorites that I stream quite often. I would say Rocket League and Magic the Gathering are quite frequent on my channel. I'm from Kansas, USA, and I got two lovely boys. I got an 8-year-old named Caden and a 7-month-old named Ezra. So fairly new out the bunion, but it's been interesting. So his birthday's 2020, so he'll pretty much be haunted like that for the rest of his life. Like anytime he says his birthday, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I know what year that was." Like we felt bad about that. I'm not gonna lie, but he's here. He's wonderful. But yeah, come check me out. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And
absolutely, I'm pumped.
I know we had done a co-stream yesterday, and there was a game that I couldn't think of. That it was a 2-player co-op free game on Twitch. It's called Handy Dandy.
I have never heard of that or played it.
What is Handy Dandy about? This sounds like an unusual game, and you already got me curious just with the title.
Bendy Ink Machine type game or Gold Simulator type game? What you got going on here?
Well, I couldn't play it because I didn't, of course, have anybody to play with.
Handy Dandy? I'll look it up real quick.
But yeah, it's just basically you have 2 adventurers, Handy and Dandy, have caused a dimensional tear, which is now separating them and the entire cave where they have to solve platforming puzzles to reunite again in this 2D co-op game.
Okay.
It got really good reviews. It's got 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's free.
Fantastic.
It's free. It's free on
Is it one of Twitch's free games or Steam?
Yeah, it's one of those free to play games, but it's free on Steam.
I like those kind of games. Have you ever heard of Into the Outer Wilds?
Outer Wilds? Oh, I've seen the Outer Wilds. I did not download that one.
That is like an experience in itself. You only can play it once.
Okay.
But like it's an experience.
Okay.
What makes it an experience? Because you're describing it like it's something that's different and unusual. So
it is
this whole experience?
Let me explain this the best way I can without like giving away any hints. You enter into a world. You have no idea what's happening. All you know is you wake up on in this world, planets are different than ours. They're smaller and they're closer together in this universe, not world, my bad, universe. So you can literally see the worlds you're going to. Well, you have to figure out how to First, you have to figure out what's going on. You have to take materials from the place you're on and build a ship. And then you have to figure out how you got there. So you take off on this journey across the solar system, traveling to these different planets, and gravity's warped and stuff. So you have to figure out how to control your ship, and you have to manage oxygen and things like that. And you meet interesting characters. There's dogs that can talk, and it's just nuts. And by the time you get to the end, it's this beautiful masterpiece. And how it ends up, it's like a good book, in the middle of it, you're like, what the hell is going on? But by the end, you're like, oh my God. So that's the best way I can describe it without giving you away too much. I don't want to tell you everything about it because some of it's it's one of those things you see once. It's like when you watch the movie for the first time. When you saw Braveheart for the first time, you're never going to get that experience back. Incredible movie, or Gladiator. I mean, that was one of my favorite movies of all time. I remember the first time I watched it.
Well,
Interesting. Yeah, I gotta look that one up. I'm super curious now.
Yeah, Outer Wilds. It's awesome. Won tons of awards.
Interesting. Oh, it looks like Siren is jumping in.
Hello.
Hey, how goes it, guys? Sorry I'm late.
You're
I
fine.
that's all right.
always think that I'm going to be done with physical therapy on time. I'm never done on time. I don't know if you know this, but I talk a little bit. Sometimes
Well,
I might allegedly
occasion.
talk to people. After.
You allegedly talk to people. You allegedly talk a lot. This
Sometimes.
this is news to the world of the Gamer Den. Nobody believes this.
Hello. I'm so quiet. I'm a quiet girl. That's me. Yes. Hello, new person. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Siren.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
How are you
meet
doing today?
I'm here, proud of myself.
This is nice enough for you to be outside. Lucky.
Right? I'm going to eat it up while I can. I'm not
It's
going
so
to
hot
lie.
outside. I got triple sunburn. I didn't know that was possible.
Triple
You
sunburn.
got triple
Absolutely. I get moonburn, guys. I gotta hide.
I'm not even angry. I'm impressed. That's pretty impressive.
I'm
husband's
Scotch
the
Irish,
same
so
way.
that white skin runs through me.
I
Bad,
know how that goes.
right?
kids
I
are
wish I was
half
one
of that
giant
Nordic.
freckle, but I'm not.
You don't even get the cool freckles. You just get the burn. I'm sorry. That's not
Right?
funny.
I
But
just saw
man,
what happened.
That is so wrong on so many levels.
It is. It really is. I'm sorry. I'm laughing. Also, I shouldn't laugh.
It's okay. Pain's funny.
Oh, speaking of pain, Siren.
Yes.
See, John played Rocket League with me the other day. You were supposed to play Rocket League.
Yeah. This is like Among Us again. I feel like I did play Rocket League. I did it. It's fun.
Rocket League's fun.
No, it's like Lucio Ball, and I hate it.
It's soccer with cars.
Do you play
That's
Overwatch?
exactly what it is.
Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played Overwatch religiously back when it first launched.
Do you remember Lucio Ball?
Yeah.
It makes me want to
With the
shoot
soccer
myself
with
in
the big,
face. Yeah. The boom,
everyone.
boom. That's what
Yeah,
that
I
is.
love Lucio Ball.
Was great.
Both of you stop. Both of you are fired.
Roadhog is my favorite character.
You're a Roadhog main.
Absolutely.
I'm a Diva main. I love the tank mains. Welcome, tank mate. Hello.
And I was played Overwatch so long ago that before he got nerfed, when he could one shot him when you just pull in the hook and then boom.
Oh yeah.
And they nerfed all that, so now it takes 3 shots.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
And back then he had 6 shots. Now he only has 5.
He did, now he has 5.
That was mine right there.
Hanzo, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man. What was his how do you saying go?
Yeah, the dragons.
Not the dragons.
I do randomly do Hanzo's voice. Like we'll be playing, I'll just be like, Hanzo. Why? Because I can. Just randomly. Or somebody will do something, I'll be like, you better move. You better move right now. And like scream at him. I don't know. Hanzo's voice is fun though.
Oh yeah. Like you said, I
It's
love it when he does the twin dragons. Oh,
Yeah, I have no idea what he says, but it is super intimidating.
He was close. He just missed on the.
Yeah.
He forgot that.
Yeah. That was close though. We like it. I love my Overwatch. I have a problem.
Are you excited for 2?
Yeah. I actually am super excited for 2 because now they're doing the PvE side more.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna add
They have a skill
basically a
tree
campaign.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
It also comes out close around Diablo 4, so I might have like a
was wondering.
difficult time. But
I
yeah,
know.
I'm pumped.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why would you blow out two of your biggest, like your two big games?
Fairly
Why would
close
you?
to one another.
Right? What about those of us that like both? Then what do you do?
Because I have a ton of hours on 3, so I can't imagine what 4 is going to be like. So
my
Trailer.
oldest does.
The trailer for 4 looks neat.
dope. And they got the new class, the rogue class.
Mm-hmm. I don't know much about them though. What do you know about Rogue Class?
Well, it's fast, more agility like. I guess you could compare it to like the Demon Hunter.
Oh,
So it's
they're going to be your darters. They're going to be your
stealthy
scouts.
darters around, and
Yeah.
they also added more of like a 3D effect. So the way the game looks, if you watch the trailer, like when the characters come up and do like their aerial moves,
Yeah.
like they added more like a depth to it. So it looks really dope.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. Overwatch 2, all those games, I'm pumped.
There's a lot coming out.
Well, and in Overwatch, they're going to try, and PvP, they're shaking it all up and screwing it all up. In my well, I say screwing it up, but they're definitely shaking it up. They're going to make it a 5.
Yeah,
making-
5v5. Only
They're
one
also
tank.
mixing up some of the characters too. Like they'll have totally new like works and how they work and stuff. So
Well, they were saying they wanted the tanks now to be more brawlers, which I
Mhm.
don't have. So as a diva main, what the crap? How does
they
a
already
mech
had
a brawler?
brawlers, like brawler type thing. I think Roadhog was like a brawler type
Oh, totally. I feel
because
like
he didn't really have any
Zarya
type of
is too.
defense. He was very aggressive. Roadhog's a very aggressive tank.
Mhm.
So
Roadhog's whole point is to go in, take damage, heal
Yep.
himself, and that just builds his ult up.
yeah,
with
that's
the-
how it works. I think he's a brawler, so I don't know why they're making them all brawlers.
Because there's only going to be one of each.
People complained and whined.
It's going to be crazy. I'm not.
Yep.
I'm actually super excited to see what that does because I know all of my PvP peeps are losing their shit. So
Right.
like,
I feel you.
but all of us PvE kids are like stoked. We're ready.
Oh,
I'm
I love
so
yeah,
excited.
player versus environment. It's the best.
Man.
I play MMOs and mainly because I like to do raids and dungeons.
Right.
So
It's
because
so fun.
I like that stuff. I don't want to go play PvP. If I do that, I'll go play Magic or Rocket League. That's why I play Rocket League to get that part, that competitive aspect that I like.
I feel like Overwatch has finally figured out that they have two different communities. They've got the PvP and the PvE, and they're
Yeah.
really totally separate communities.
Well, they
There's-
check their numbers every time they had those events. You remember with like the Reaper stuff, the Halloween stuff. They were
Mhm.
huge, and some people played those and didn't even play on the PvP side of things. They would just come and play this.
Exactly.
So they're like, all right, well, we need to capitalize on this, which honestly is smart as hell.
Yeah,
smart.
From
Smart
what I
thinking.
understood, they were talking about taking Overwatch 2 more on the PvE side and keeping Overwatch 1 on the PvP side more,
Right.
so that they kind of differentiated between the two,
Mhm.
which I think is brilliant. It makes
Right,
total
yeah.
sense. They've got the infrastructure already on Overwatch 1, and they not like that's changing much other than the code for the
Mhm.
5v5. So
It's
I think
not
that's
broke,
gonna be
don't fix
exciting.
it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just improve on it. That's what I'd say.
I'm so excited.
Right.
They've got a whole new. Aren't they using a new game engine for Overwatch 2?
Maybe.
Because I
I'm
know
not-
graphics.
I'm not sure. I can't give you an honest answer on that if they are.
Because I was trying to. Because I know graphic wise, they were making tons of updates to the characters' graphics themselves.
They
But
are.
it's the same thing that they did with Fortnite.
Yeah, they're adding more detail, shaders and stuff like that. So you get more depth to the character rather than just like blotches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Borderlands
when
style, but I love Borderlands style. That's what you'd call blocky.
Because one of the big things, I'm wondering if they're going to start adding in, like everybody else, with the whole ray tracing, since that's the new craze.
What is ray
Right.
tracing?
Adding the reflections, the shiny, the glossy. I mean, just
Oh,
really.
Gotcha.
You
Yeah.
get when you look at the water, you get the sun that beams off of it.
Yep.
That's that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know when when Epic went to that, they did an entire every server, everything upgrade.
Yeah.
Like even their pings changed. So they added extra servers and all of that kind of crap. So I don't know if Overwatch does do that. I mean, if they do ray tracing and whatnot, just the extra data packets, they would have to add in some like the infrastructure would have to change as well. They wouldn't just, I don't feel like, be able to just upgrade those.
Yeah, it'd be a whole rework
Yeah, that's what I'm
because you're
thinking.
messing with hitboxes and stuff.
So I was wondering. I mean, that's why I'm wondering because like I said, I had heard that they were updating the graphics for two.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering if that is part of that package.
Maybe that's why it took so long to actually launch, because if you're gonna bust out extra servers and stuff like that, I mean, we're talking a lot of hardware, not
Yeah.
software, not firmware, none of that shit, like actual hardware. And during COVID, you couldn't really get your hands on it. I mean, hell, you're having a hard enough time. What, you want a 3060 nowadays, you're going to pay with a kidney or maybe your firstborn's virginity.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the
I
going
mean,
price is.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
Siren,
make someone-
speaking of rare finds and things of that nature, I was just wondering, because I'm always surfing the news for things going on in the video game space. That's kind of my role here, as well as being the interviewer and things of that nature. But I was just wondering how many of you have had the fortune of finding a rare video? Because apparently a Goodwill worker a day ago found a rare, looks like 10K Atari video game just sitting in a box of donations. So they were going through their box of donations, and he was fortunate enough to find this rare game and was very glad to find that. And I'm sure he'll go off and make some money with it if he's not busy playing the game with his with their kids or grandkids, if they got any such things and all of that. But Aaron and Jacoby and our new friend, have you ever had the pleasure of just stumbling across something that you didn't know was going to be a treasure? Because apparently this happened in Texas, and it was just sitting there and everything, and they were fortunate enough to find it, and it looked like it was a rare copy of the Atari video game Air Raid.
Interesting. I can tell you now, they're not playing it because
No, hell
$10,000.
no. I ain't.
No
way.
I ain't putting it in nothing. Nothing's going on a shelf. I'm gonna have armed guards.
Right?
Eye
There's
scan,
no way.
What? Get close. But I've heard stuff like that. Like there was a story one time with someone went in there and they were selling, had an iPad up on the shelf. They're like, no one can get it to work. It just turned out no one plugged in a charger, so they sold it for like $15.
That's so ridiculous.
So the guys got home and plugged the charger in, and it just turned on and started there. Because no one tried it. It was like what? But I mean, stuff like that happens,
Hilarious.
I feel like that could happen when gamers die, because all of us have our hoard box or our hoard stash. I don't care what anyone says. If they say they don't, then they're not a real gamer. It's the random old, we have just cases of random old games and shit. I have a Nintendo NES. I'm telling you, you see this, Mark? I have the K and the D for that. Sorry, for my kids, and the C. But see, I'm telling you, it takes one of us passing away and having an estate sale, and people just come in and they're like, holy crap, look at all of this. I guarantee you what happened is someone didn't realize what they were looking at when maybe that dude moved out for college and his parents decided to clean his room. And we're like, oh, we'll get rid of this old game or whatever.
I'm a grown man child. I'll admit it right now.
Hell yeah. My whole house is decked out.
I don't have
in that.
pictures of flowers on my wall. Right there is a My Hero Academia wall scroll next to the baby crib. Let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, apparently the reason they were able to find it is because it has an unusual shape, because they said that it's got a T-shaped handle, which is why it was easy for the worker to spot it. There are reportedly only 13 known copies of the game. So there are only 13 copies of the game, and the other of the person who found it is actually a video game aficionado, and he was able to help identify the game and confirm that it was worth more than the average Atari game. So they were glad to do that, and like I said, they put it out on auction where it was sold for $10,590 and 79 cents. We cannot forget the 79 cents.
Yeah, one, why is the 79 cents there? That's oddly specific. And two, I absolutely love that dude didn't just steal it. The guy the aficionado, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not 100% sure that I have that in my soul. Like, if somebody at the work
I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face as I was paying for it. I'd be like, Here, I'm
Right?
gonna buy this.
Right? Like the guy was like, "That's worth a lot of money, Goodwill. You should auction it off." And all I can think is like, "Yeah, here's a $5. Have a nice day."
Right.
Like running
Right, as you walk
away.
the door, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make my mom.
Right?
We going Sizzler.
No, yeah, there's no way. That dude has a heart of gold.
Right.
Holy crap. Who the hell was that? That guy needs a medal. I give him
Yes,
a
he
medal.
does.
There's no way. I definitely would have yeeted the hell out with that thing.
Right.
He would have been sneaking outside.
I love to think that I'm a good person, but in that situation, I probably would not have been. Like, not as good as that dude was. Whoa, good for him. Good for him.
Right.
Hmm.
He saw the $20 on the ground. And he was like, "A mother needs this."
Right?
That's that kind of guy. We got it. We like those.
Good guy, Steve. I like it.
Yeah. Let me say this. Karma doesn't have $10,000 to give me though.
No.
Right.
But walking out of that with Goodwill would have. Like,
Oh my God.
I don't know how he did that. I don't know. That's everything I have on that subject. Everything I've got is I'm just not a good person. I think that
At least
sometimes
you
I am,
admit it.
but I'm not. Yeah.
If you don't
But
fake
you
it.
admit that and everything. You know, a lot of people won't admit that, but you admit that you have some evil and wrong ways. I'm thinking that, you know, I've known him for a while and we've worked on some festivals. I'm thinking Jacoby would be the nice guy and would actually
Oh,
let
totally.
folks know what was going on and everything. 'Cause
Yeah, you
Jacoby's
so
just that
would.
kind
Don't
of
even
guy.
give me that. You so would be.
Sure, I would.
He'd be that guy at the
You
door.
are correct.
Welcome.
Uh-huh.
It's good to
Right
have you. What's your
after-
name?
Right after I paid for it and it
Mhm.
is in my possession, I will then say, you know, this is actually worth $10,000.
After you, okay, so you know, a hybrid of both, which is actually a little bit more dick, but that's fine. I like it. I like where mine is, man. Take it out from under them before you let them know the value. Smart, wicked smart.
I'm just going to run away with it and be like, I did not see that. And I'm just going to disappear and not really care about what's going on in that regards.
That's almost kind of like American Pickers, you know, finding that hidden gem in the, you know, buried in the dirt.
Do you do that or do you watch that?
The show, yeah, I watch that. I don't do that.
Okay,
You know.
I
I'm out in
met
the
a dude.
backyard. You know,
I met
Yeah,
a dude
bottle
that does it
fill.
for real though. The dude spent like $1,400 on his little thingy,
Right.
and that was just the.
Some of those
thing.
stories are really cool, honestly.
Yeah, well, so one of my troops when I was stationed in England got into it because they have a bunch of like Roman coins and crap in the soil, weirdly, just everywhere. And I lived in Cambridge, so there's a ton of like random Roman stuff. And
Right.
well, weirdly enough, he brought it back to the U.S. So we were here in freaking Alabama, and he's out there beep 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 beep. I'm like, you're not gonna find anything Roman over there, bruh. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might find a locket.
Alabama. Yes. It'll take you
Also,
4 years.
that was
Came
something.
down from the Viking Netherlands.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Alabama. is
If
where
y'all
it's-
thought that was something, we've got even worse. But apparently, and then there was another story that's on one of Toby's favorite topics, and I'm sure that our new friend might want to weigh in on this as well as a parent. But coming to people that are finding things, apparently, and I know that when Kara is here, she talks about being a fan of Zelda, and apparently somebody found a rare Zelda Nintendo game that they got sold for $100,000 at an auction. So an early
yes,
version
of
The
course.
Legend
That's
of Zelda is selling for over $100,000. So they found
Having a stroke.
version of that, and they did the auction, and it went for the kind of crazy money because it may come as a surprise. The article says that some versions of this game are actually incredibly rare and are worth lots of money. So the online auction site Heritage Auction launched its first video game auction with a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda, and the particular copy is from one of the game's earliest production runs. And the current bid at the time of the writing of this article, which was looks like maybe a day or two ago, was $110,000. So definitely, those kind of things are going on in that way as well.
That's
It's-
not even a real amount, is it? Is that a real amount? For
I think I think the gold version of the old the gold plated Nintendo one, which of course was the plastic gold. I think that one's closer to or upwards of 100 in the hundreds of thousands. I think that one's closer towards like 500,000 or something like that. It's
Talking
nuts.
about the golden Super Mario, whatever it was.
That's the
No,
one
Golden
that
Zelda.
one is stupid expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there that are just worth some dumb money, but you know, they just
Nuts.
like in the Magic the Gathering, the card called the Black Lotus. I mean, one sold for like $50,000.
I heard about that.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, just people put value in something. You know.
Hey, Jacoby, it looks like this article was actually earlier today, so you still can get in your bid. So I know you got 125, 130,000 just
Yeah,
laying
I'll put my
in your
bid in. I
pillowcase
got
over
this.
there.
It's in a coffee
You can
jar
still
downstairs.
Make your bid. It's still able for you to get that early version. So just get that 130,000 that's hiding in that pillowcase of yours, because I know.
Babe, will you bring it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let me go ahead and empty out these empty pockets. I got
It's like a kidney.
$100,000
Do
left.
they take organs as is, or
I mean,
is it a trade barter system? I'm down for bartering.
I like hip hop. You want my left foot?
Right?
No, that was bad.
I only need one ear.
I loved it so much.
That was bad, Jacoby, but I cannot really talk because, you know, you've had the pleasure, and I got to get Siren to come on as well, and anybody else that wants to come on. But I had the pleasure of going on Brian Schulman, who is this LinkedIn influencer that I brought Jacoby onto his show not that long ago and everything. And they started this new competition, and, you know, usually they have you dance or kind of chair dance to a song of your choosing and everything. But they also have this thing called a lip sync battle. So they made my song of the choosing the lip sync battle. And I forgot how hard this particular song is. It's actually an old classic song from maybe the 70s or 80s, if I'm thinking of my time frame right and everything. But you know, I had
You
to
did a
lip
lip sync battle? Wait, pause. Mark, wait a minute. You did a lip sync battle?
I did a lip sync battle.
I feel like you maybe buried the lead a little there, bruh.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, I did a lip sync battle. But I'm getting to get to what the song was. What you
Say
think
something
first?
super awesome and just pays it no mind.
I'm going to get what the song is, what Jacoby will get a kick out of, because I'm giving them different songs, and I've gone to old school R&B songs, you know, like things that the Commodores might have done, things that like the old Sister Sledge and some of the other old R&B songs and everything. But for some reason, yesterday on my mind was B-52's Love Shack. So that's what me and Tim tried to sing to. And you know how hard those lyrics are?
Yeah.
The
only part I remember is where she just yells, tin roof, rusted. That's it. That's all I got.
All I remember is the main chorus, like,
Yeah, me too.
love shack. That's it. That's all I got.
Exactly.
We're done.
Oh, shit. That was money, bro.
Right?
That was so good.
Kill it.
It was not a good effort from me and Tim Sohn, who is the online producer of Brian's show, and he's been going through some health issues. So I was just glad to tag team with Tim and everything. But we're sitting there going like, but what I told him is I think because they have the people judge and everything, and I think that we won because of degree of difficulty. But they flipped the script on me, or actually maybe I flipped the script on myself, because what they have agreed to do is that, and I wish I could think of what their song was, but it was another classic 70s, 80s type song. But they have to sing the song that we did, and we have to sing their song in round 2, which will be next this coming Wednesday. So about
What
6
song
days
did they
from now.
pick?
I'm curious
What song
Yeah.
was it?
I'm trying to remember, and I have to go back and maybe I can ask Brian if she's on and everything, but because I'm trying to remember the song that they did, but it was one of those other songs that I did not think was as hard, because like I said, when they flashed the lyrics, you know, on karaoke's and lip syncs and everything, they will sometimes give you the lyrics. They did not give us the lyrics at the beginning, but then they started showing the lyrics, and I'm going like,
yes, figure it out.
Lyrics.
You got this.
Just make up words.
40-year-old
I just
song.
like that
Remember
you
the
don't
words.
know which song it is you have to sing next week. I feel like that's an important one that I would have personally bore to memory, because I'm terrified.
And I will
of
definitely be talking to them to remember what this song is that we're supposed to sing. You know,
I'm definitely not going on there with you.
Chat
Siren.
said scat man.
Yeah. Yes.
Lip
So
sync
we have to
that.
remember that. But and I don't mind teasing myself, and Jacoby knows this and everything. So I do not mind even giving myself a hard time as well, because there is a song, because as Jacoby knows, I'm a fan of blues music and everything. And
Hey, Blues Traveler.
I told them about a certain song that I am a fan of, and they have made it my theme song. So definitely, whenever I come on, they find this song from Nelly Tiger Travis called Mr. Sexy Man, and they play it and everything. So it has become like my universal theme song whenever I come into their space and everything. So, like I said, as soon as I walk in, they start playing that song.
You have a
your
theme
own
song called Mr. Sexy Man?
Right? Your cool points just elevated. Man.
Right? How freaking amazing is that, Mark? You're my hero. You're my hero. You are my
You got a
hero.
theme song when you walk into a place.
And
It
it's
exists.
called
It's a real
Mr.
thing.
Sexy Man. No,
Yeah.
like this is a twofer. He got us with a twofer. He has his own theme song, and it's called Mr. Sexy Man. Oh my God. I don't
Well,
have
like
a hat, but I'm taking it off to you.
Well, Jacoby has walked into this space and he has seen how they really give me a hard time with this song, because they bring it up, they give a whole like soliloquy, and then they start playing the song, and
Ooh,
anybody
soliloquy.
that's there gets to see what's going on.
That's awesome. I'm never
Cool.
going on there with you. I'm never doing that.
I'd love to do a lip sync battle.
Hey, Max, I'm not going to lie to you. I would pay for to see both of you.
Right?
Why is this
Absolutely.
free? This should not be free. As a matter of fact, I need links. That's going to have to be a thing. For real, for real.
We'll
I didn't
call
know
it
this was
Only
happening.
Mans.
Yes. I'm so excited because I need to watch next week. What day do you do it? What day is it?
It
What
is
time?
Wednesday. He does two shows. He does one on Saturday, which will be a day after tomorrow, but the one that's got the lip sync battle is on Wednesday, and it's usually, I know it's before my show on Pod TV, or one of the shows that I do here, which is the online dinner party. So it's like between 1 and 4 o'clock, and I think the lip sync battle is closer to 3 to 4 our time, Eastern time, because he's actually in California. So it's like between 3 and 4 our time, which would be 12 to 1 his time, if I'm remembering. No, that's not right. Yeah, they're 3 hours back. So yes, I'm right. 12 to 1 his time.
Gotcha. Okay, I just want you guys all to know, Mark, when you think, you look up at Max. Max, when you look at your monitor, you're looking at Jacoby, and Jacoby, when you look at your monitor, you're looking at Max, and it's really adorable. You guys all look like you're lovingly looking into each other's eyes.
That's what it is. This is all
It's
love.
so sweet. Mark looked like he was frozen, but
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
it.
frozen.
You guys
Don't
are
pay any
just
attention to me.
looking into each other's eyes. It's beautiful. Continue. I can't. It's a beautiful moment. Continue.
Well, I'm going to see if I can reach out to Brian or one of those people so I can find out that song, and I'll come back to y'all on that. But Jacoby, like I said, I will sometimes, as y'all are talking on this show, we'll look up articles, and I did find an article in Slate. And that is definitely a magazine that some people may know. It deals with an issue that you have talked about a number of times on this show. So I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts about it. But it's the whole concept of, can you be, as a youth, too obsessed with video games? Because the title of the article is "My Nephew is so obsessed with video games that I worry for his health." And this was an article that was written on 2 days ago. So it was written on Tuesday, and it was definitely somebody that was saying that their nephew Nicholas is 9 and only plays video games. He wakes up around 2 p.m., doesn't brush his teeth or shower, and begins playing games.
Well, that just sounds like
think
poor
our parents
parents.
were
Started
ridiculous
peeing in bottles.
and doesn't want to push her own kids at all. They also argue that their husband is a pediatrician and has suspicions that Nicholas is malnourished. So this is like one of them letter things, I think. And they are also, this person is saying that they're pissed at their sister. Her other son, my 8-year-old nephew, comes over my house and loves the structure and steady meals. So they asked their sister to send Nick, but says he doesn't want to come over, so she never sends him. Nick says that I don't have any way to set up his games, and that my TV is old, so he'll never spend time with me. So apparently they've got like one of those ancient TVs and doesn't be able to put the video games and all of that. So this is like one of those letter to the editor type things and everything that was sent in the magazine Slate, and I can reveal what they answered within Slate at a later time. But what was your thoughts about these kind of situations? Because I know we oftentimes talk about the video games and the greatness of video games, but apparently this person is concerned that they're spending too much time on the video games.
I mean, in my opinion, video games can be very unhealthy. Absolutely. I mean, people have died for sitting in front of a computer playing too much
Look
games.
at Koreans. Hell, how many of them have passed? I mean, like, that's a national pastime for them at some point, where they're just like, who could die the fastest? I mean, you know, but that is true.
You bring dishonor.
Yeah. I mean, they'll go days without eating and sleeping. I mean, I think what they said that was killing them the fastest was that, weirdly, the blue light. It was keeping them awake when they were fighting to stay awake already. So it was forcing their endocrine system to keep them up with the blue light. And I mean, you can only go without sleep for like a day and a half, 2 days before you die. And I think that's what was killing them, because they would die after like 72 hours. And it's because they just wouldn't sleep.
Right. Remember, chat asked, is the kid happy? Is he doing well in school? Does he have friends online or IRL?
Well,
and that's what I would ask too. As well, obviously not if he's doing that kind of stuff. Now he can have friends online, but I mean, there's nothing going wrong with going outside. He doesn't have to play sports, but man, you got to find something, joy in something. Swing. You know.
I mean, no matter what you do, it all comes down to balance. You can drink too much water and die. You can sleep.
Very much true.
You can stay out in the sun and die. It's just
anything could be too much.
Yeah, so you just got to have that balance in your life, and you know.
But I mean, that they were listing that basic needs weren't being met. He's not getting showers. He's not getting his teeth brushed.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, like, I don't think that's even a video game thing. That to me is a parenting issue. That could be anything. What if that kid was just a book nerd? 50 years ago when we didn't have it, that would have been the kid that was nose stuck in a book, didn't talk to anybody, and didn't eat. Sounds to me like he's got maybe ADD, some sort of hyper focus disorder where he gets into something, his brain sets to a certain point, and he can't pass it compulsively until he actually attains a certain thing, which happens a lot with people in video games because they're so structurally incremented that you find a lot of people will get stuck and then they can't stop until they reach that next point. I mean, it's intended to be that way, but if you've got a compulsion issue or a hyper focus issue, you're going to be in real trouble. And that's what it sounds like with this kid. But if he's a pediatrician, he has at least basic, pediatric psychology, which tells you, hey, he's probably hyper focusing at 9 years old and probably needs some sort of chemical help that I don't think has anything to do at all with games. That has to do with his endocrine system being out of whack. That happens a lot for boys before puberty, and then after puberty, it evens out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
The problem is games become that easy fall guy.
Exactly.
And a lot of
guns.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So I mean, it's just that easy out.
You see it in all media. Jatofi was talking about it a couple weeks ago about TV and movies. I mean, all of it is the easy, It's not me, it's the TV show. It's not my parenting, it's that movie. If it weren't for that movie, my kids would be angels.
I thought your kids were angels, Siren.
Hell no.
I thought they were angels. You mean you fooled me all along? Yes, I'm really disappointed in everything. By the way, I've got to tease y'all because on this show yesterday on the online dinner party, I had a guest that had gone through an abusive situation and been divorced. She's now remarried, but she'd written a book about how Christianity helped her get through what she went through, but also some of the ways that it was not a positive thing in terms of the way the church handled her situation, and even sometimes military, because I think she was a military person as well. So she wrote this great book. I actually invited her to come on to the show because she is a teacher of technology and a teacher of video games and things of that nature. But she was talking about her 16-year-old daughter, because her daughter just turned 16. So she was like saying that, that's a whole nother conversation, because she was used to the daughter, kind of following behind her and being the typical more parent-friendly kid, for lack of a better term. And of course, once they turn 16 and teenagers, they could really care less about adults that are not in their peer group and everything. So if she was just talking about that part of her life as well. So I can't remember how old your kids are, Siren,
for her, though. It's easier for me. My son's 17. I mean, but to be fair, like we own a gaming business. He games with us.
Right.
That's that whole thing. I really do think that anything that you can use to bridge a gap, it doesn't even matter is the gap race, is it age, is it class, is it language? Right. It doesn't even matter. To me, there are certain things that transcend that. One of them is music. I don't think it matters what language you speak if the music moves you. And another one I think is dance, and another one is games. It doesn't matter what culture it is. It doesn't matter what time frame it is. We have used games as a way to interact with cultures we don't know, different tribes we didn't understand. Hell, we still do it. We're about to have the Olympics. So it doesn't matter to me that it's a video game. It matters that my son and I are engaging, doing the same thing. And I think for her too, she probably finds it's easier because we at least have one thing that's a common ground. I can walk in there and just rage about this. You know, I have this asshole hog who kept pulling me out of all my alts and all of this. And then we can start from there. And it's huge. Anything that you can have for that is huge. So that's why I'm such a big advocate for gaming being accepted as a whole. But at the same time, like Jatovi was saying, it has to be tempered. It has to be mediated. Everything has to have a common, like, not a common ground. It's got to be help. Words. I need words.
Right.
I'm just drowning.
Moderation.
Those words again. Speaking of words, I'm going to tell, and y'all can say whether y'all agree with them or not, but what Slate said, and like I said, it was one of those letter to the editor type things, was, I'm sure you're aware of this, but not all kids are the same. Some love structure, some don't. Some love video games, others don't. It's great that your husband is a pediatrician, but he doesn't know for sure if he's malnutrition unless he fully examines him. Instead of wasting your time being mad at your sister, why don't you calmly talk to her instead? Talk to her about Nick's hygiene and daily routine and mention how it worries you as his uncle. If you approach her with a non-judgmental tone, she may be more open to listening. One thing to keep in mind is if Nick's brother seems to be on the right path, according to you at least, then maybe she's doing a fine job as a mom after all. Another thing is to consider is upgrading your television to be more compatible for modern gaming. And then the person mentions that their niece is really into Pac-Man, and that's not their thing at all, but she would never know it based on my knowledge of the characters. Sometimes you have to take one for the team in order to help foster a relationship with someone, and it looks like this is one of those times. Nowadays, they're relatively inexpensive, and the memories you can create with Nick can be priceless, not to mention once he's willing to come to your house, you can have conversations with him one-on-one to get to the heart of your concerns with him in an appropriate way.
Great advice. Mending interpersonal relationships between the siblings and taking care of the kiddos. I think that's money. Why didn't we think of that? We're the worst.
Right.
Yeah. Brilliant. Freaking brilliant.
It was brilliant advice that they gave it everything. I don't know about because I don't have the greatest TV in the world either, so I don't know about going out and buying the new or greatest TV because I might still have a 1950s TV. Well, it's not that bad, but it's definitely an older.
On the RCA cables, he's still got that yellow, blue, and white back there. That's what you're rocking on. That's 78p 1 pixel.
High def. What are you
it doesn't even have a refresh rate. It's just projector. Doesn't have a refresh rate.
It's getting VCR. Where's it at?
We're talking about video games, and I've told me that my first induction into the video games was that classic video game Pong, and it was when I was in around the high school age of during the 70s and definitely even in the college age of the 80s. But I remember playing Pong and watching the little ball go up and hit the wall and trying to get it to break through and all of that.
Yep.
I just remember the scene in Semi-Pro when they're playing Pong on the side.
Oh yeah, with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Semi-Pro and Blades of Glory are out of my memory on purpose. I'll never.
I love Talladega Nights though.
Talladega Nights and Anchorman are my jam.
What do I do with my hands?
I did that on here like the first day, the first time I was on here. I did the whole drowning in words, and so I just and nobody laughed. And I was like,
oh man, My introduction to video games though was a Game Gear. That was the first thing I had. If you remember
Game
Game
Gear.
Gear,
Gear.
Wow.
Jatobi. Game
Game
Gear.
that's right. You
Wow.
remember that?
My brother had
Took
one.
like 9 batteries. I had the
but
Sega
for a
game on
day.
the Sonic game on there.
Yes.
Okay.
The Sonic 1 and 2. I had the Power Rangers game on there.
Spyro.
I think no, I don't
Do you
think
have
Spyro was
Spyro?
on the Game Gear. I think
Spyro was on the Game Gear. I didn't know if you had it though.
it was.
Yeah,
No
that was the
way.
only game that we had. We only had Spyro.
I thought Spyro didn't come out till PlayStation 1.
Mm-mm.
I didn't know
No,
it came out on Game Gear. Wow, not a clue.
The
I had a Dreamcast too.
The
I had a
ED
Sega
one.
Genesis.
the original Spyro, the ED one, not the 3D one.
Oh, okay.
That one was on there. That's the one that we played. I was like, wait, no, not the 3D cool one that you can see.
Yeah, because I played that one.
Yeah, that one was money too.
Right? Yeah. We even bought the HD remake for my son on Switch, and he
Was
loves
it good? Oh, I
Yeah.
was considering
It was
getting
$20. I mean, it was a great buy. You had all 3 games on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's happening. Because we all have Switches too, so.
Yeah, we got a Switch, Xbox downstairs,
Wow.
2 PCs
Look
right
at
here.
you! Where did you get that? Have you kept that the whole time?
Yes.
You stop right now. Battlefield 2. Are you so excited for the new Battlefield? Did
Yeah.
you see the
Actually, yeah.
trailer?
42? Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great.
That trailer looks like a freaking movie. Like, I
Right.
just kept rewatching it. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna get crazy. I can't wait.
We're all going to have to buy jet engine video cards for our PCs to run it.
Well,
You start that game, and it's going to be like...
The whole room heats up by 10 degrees. You're like, it's fine.
Yeah, right. Because you know they're gonna push it. They
Oh,
always
yeah.
do.
Oh, yeah.
If your computer can run Battlefield on max settings, you've got a good PC.
Yeah.
Well,
At least the newer
remember,
ones.
it started breaking PCs when they opened up.
Yeah, dude, it was destroying them.
Yeah, they had the whole new game engine that had the whole where it would break walls in a different the whole polygon settings, and that was brand new. Everybody freaking out and breaking computers that way. Not mine.
Well, it was the CPUs though, because the GPUs would overclock and overheat, and they would blow the CPU, and that would piss me. Like, your graphics card blowing out is one thing. Your CPU blowing out is a whole other. I feel like.
Right.
Oh, I remember when that was going down. I was just like, this is gonna suck real bad. Everyone's gonna be real pissed. I'm just gonna make cake for my brothers and hope things are good. And like,
everybody have a V8.
yeah, pretty much. Oh God, I remember that. That was craziness. But I think that I feel like they said it's supposed to be more accessible. To me, that means maybe it will blow up computers.
I don't know. Battlefield was all because trying to stay ahead of Call of Duty. Battlefield always liked better than Call of Duty in the first place.
Yeah.
But Battlefield was always pushing because remember they were the first to really in a shooter do the ray tracing.
Right.
Call of Duty and nobody.
Yeah,
else
we talked about
and that's when they dropped the 2080s, the 2080 Ti's. They were
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was. Hey, Battlefield can finally push this card, and same thing with the 1080 Ti. That's why the 1080 Ti is still around because. The
1080, the 1680. I mean, those are still.
So
now they got the 10. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Now. Yeah. I mean, let's see what happens with the 3090s and
That's what I have.
Oh, you son of a.
It's my weird flex, but I'm proud.
Yeah. I have AMD.
AMD.
I got the Ryzen series CPU and one of their graphic cards, the Beast. I spent probably
love
$1,000 less than you did.
Yeah. I basically stole it from my brother-in-law, more or less.
You're fine. I'm just saying, I'm good. Like, if it still does it.
Being a saint again. I thought he was a saint all this time.
He works at Dell, and there was he works at Dell corporate, and there was a corporate one, and they had I think they bought like 15 of them, but they only took 10. So they had 10 of the 3090 pre-builts for that corporate already done and ready at Dell, but they can't resell them unless it's too corporate. So Cito bought it.
They're
I
on
was
like
like, I have a
3090s now. It's like we're way up there now.
Yeah. What did I say? I have a 3090.
Oh, I thought you said 10. I thought you said 1090.
Oh,
This
I
was,
may
like,
have.
5
I
years
may
ago.
have. My bad. But yeah, no, they did the 3090s. They got them all in. I think it was like a government contract or some crap, and then they had it. They didn't take them all. So I was like, shit, I'll take one. I wanted to take two, but they had a limit, so whatever.
Right. It's hard to get graphic cards right now. Everything's so expensive.
Exactly. That's
They're like
why.
$3,000 for a graphics card.
Yes, I paid less than that for the computer because they have to sell them at their rates, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it.
It's all
That's one of
parts.
those don't look a gift horse in the face kind of shit.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that. Cannot do that at all. Hey,
Right?
Jacoby, I've been seeing that lately, and I wish I could find that article that I saw online, but I was on my phone earlier. But it seems that our lovely neighbors here, Epic, are back in the news again, doing all kinds of stuff. And I know that you know people associated with them. So just wondering your thoughts about where we're going with this lawsuit, this whole metaverse that they're trying to create. And apparently they've got something that's a competitor to Steam, and they just seem to be putting their names into all kinds of stuff. And apparently LeBron James is about to have a skin
Wait a
involved with
minute.
Epic as well.
Epic is dropping a Steam competitor. Is that it?
That is what I've heard.
Epic Client is the Steam competitor.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on there. I know there's a ton of games and crap. I just
It's not.
assumed.
Yeah, it's so.
It doesn't seem to be comparative to Steam to me.
It's not competitive with Steam at all. Steam has a ton of games. The big thing with the Epic Client is that they have a lot of free games that they paid for. That, you know, some of the ones on like Steam has their whole free and free to play section.
Right.
There are more than 2,000 to 3,000 games on that free to play section.
Mhm.
Epic's free section, they do a free game a week. They paid, I think it came out to be like $12 million to give away the amount of games that they have for that free Thursday. Like they gave away a game today, but those games really aren't super expensive. They've done, you know, some that were like, you know, you'll pop out with your free Grand Theft Autos, but that's a 10-year-old game that's still selling well, and giving that away free, that will cost them some. But then they go.
Is it a game client though, like Steam is? Do you know, like game is?
Yes.
Steam is technically like an emulator. You know what I mean? You actually process the game through their engine as opposed to, you know what I mean? So Epic does that too, or is it just a client link?
Epic is more of a Steam has the overlay that goes within their in the games themselves, so you can always pull up the Steam streaming stuff.
Right, that's because the game comes through Steam.
Yeah.
You don't connect, right?
Yeah, and so Epic does a similar. They don't have the overlay that Steam does. Epic still has their client running in the background connected to the game because you have to connect to Epic.
So they're just a client. They're a client connector then.
Yes.
Okay, so all they do is connect you to the game. It's just a game
Everybody's
library.
trying to personalize their company. It's like Apple. You know, go Apple, you're gonna go Apple. You know, you don't go anywhere else.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but
I
that
only
takes
ask
exclusivity,
because
you know?
I only ask because Steam's whole platform is brilliant. Them running it as an emulator, basically. Them running the code where you play the games through Steam as opposed to just a client connector. It makes the connection and it makes the gameplay a lot more steady, and it's a lot less heavy on your computer. But if it's only a connection client, then you're going to have the same load on your hard drive, on your computer.
But the thing with Epic is that, you know, I mean, them being a quote unquote competitor is like Origin being a quote unquote competitor because they sell games and you have your storefront.
Okay, when they say competitor, they literally just mean a library of stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, well, then they're not really a competitor.
And that's why Apple jumped on them in the middle of that lawsuit and made a joke about how many free games that they have on there and how many games that they have.
I didn't know Apple. I'm so out of the loop. I'm so sorry. What happened?
The whole thing is Epic, because of Fortnite and how they have their in-game, V-Buck system set up.
Right. I remember that they came off of the thing. They're not on iPhones and all that anymore.
That's still the whole lawsuit that's out there.
Oh. Okay, I do know that one. Okay.
Yeah, so that's still going on, and that's when Apple made a joke actually in the court about how many free games that Epic has on their system.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah, Apple takes no prisoners.
I was about to say,
And-
darn, a savage.
But the thing is, Epic got super lucky because Apple was talking about potentially banning their game engine. And if you ban their game engine, that kills tons of games on the App Store, but that kills Epic's whole ocean of money because that's where they make their money. But they didn't, the courts told them that they couldn't ban that, and so Epic still has a game engine there. So games created on the engine can still be sold in the App Store. It's just the whole sales part of it that's where the battle is. And Fortnite is the big thing there that's not going back on the Apple products until they figure that court battle out.
And it sounds like that could be going on for a while because I think they got a couple of court dates coming up in July and maybe some in August as well. But hey, Jacoby, I'm trying to figure out why we have not reached out to Tim Sweeney, because apparently he's got a whole lot of money as the CEO of Epic Games and everything. And I think his worth is now $7.4 billion because they had another funding round several months ago and everything, and got people to invest in Epic and to join the Epic family and everything. So I think that he needs to sponsor the Gamers Den. So I know that you personally know him or know people that know him because you're just that kind of guy. So I'm waiting for you to tell me that we've got Tim Sweeney as a sponsor.
No pressure.
I do.
Hold on, guys. Elon Musk is calling.
Yeah. Elon, I can't take this right now.
I'm busy making money. I'll talk to you later.
You wouldn't know anything about that, Elon.
Sorry.
You're so stupid.
Was that actually a trip to go on the space trip with Elon Musk as well? Because I know that Elon, as well as some of the other billionaires, are trying to go up to space. So I was thinking that he was getting you to take your video game up to space with him. So I figured that's why Elon called you.
Well, he installed Cuphead in all of his cars. He's a big fan of Cuphead.
That is true. He did do that.
Yep.
How did you do that?
Every car, every Tesla comes with Cuphead.
Oh my crap! I'm fine. I'm still having a moment over here with the Elon call. It's fine.
Right.
Oh my god, you did it so straight face too. Like hold on a minute. Hello. Like what?
I did a comedy stint in my life when I was in my 20s.
High five to that. Thank you. I'm enjoying it. I don't know about anybody else.
That was certainly enjoyable and everything. So, like I said, Utopia, I'm waiting for you to call Mr. Tim, because I know you know him personally.
Yeah, I mean, no pressure.
Like I said,
snap him right now.
I mean, I do know a few people who may know him. I know somebody who, some of the other people who are in the higher ups.
Well, they go to the same gas station.
Yes.
They're regulars.
We meet in aisle 3 every Tuesday. He buys a Twinkie and I get a soda pop.
He loves corn nuts. I love corn nuts.
But we did have Heather Chandler on here, and Heather made it on. So we got to get Heather back on.
Who's Heather Chandler?
You have to get Heather back on. Heather was truly amazing at everything she was.
Heather
was
a
great guest.
Yeah, she was a guest. What was it, in January or December? And she was one of the producers on Fortnite. Mm-hmm. She currently she and her husband own a escape room here locally. I think it is not in Mebane, somewhere close. I cannot remember the actual place.
How do you go from a producer on Fortnite to an escape room?
Well, they left. She ended up leaving the company and doing her own thing. She's drugs and stuff.
Drugs. Meth is a hell of a drug.
He went Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But she did. There's that game. What's it called? I got it over here too. Into the Blue, I think it was.
Yeah, that's the one you mentioned because that was the one that had like the ocean theme.
Yeah, I think I still got it on here.
What does a producer on a video game do?
Same thing they do in a movie.
I never got to say what producers do in the first place. Really? I mean, what do they do? Walk in like, how much money you need? We need 10 grand. Okay, bye. Have a good one.
Right.
Produce.
Blue. That's what it is.
I mean, in movies and stuff, at least in music, producers are the macro. They do
Yeah,
all
they-
the big
they-
stuff, the
yeah.
big theory shit, right? They like lay it out and they kind of position how they want it to go, and they work the flow and all of that. Is that right?
Yep, that's what they do in the games too.
Okay, so they work like the storyline plots and then the
No,
scenes
no.
and the order it goes in and all
Well,
the macro stuff.
Yeah, the macro
Let's
stuff.
Google real quick. What does a producer do?
I know, right? Seriously, I'm just like trying to think about it. All I have is a weird.
It's actually like one of the first things that pops up because apparently a lot of people want to know what the hell they do.
Yes. What's the
A lot of
answer?
people want to know what the producer does.
Y'all
'cause,
ready
you
for
know,
this?
I'm
The
so
official-
ready.
Give us a
A
definition.
producer is the person responsible for finding and launching a project, arranging, financing,
Yep.
hiring writers, a director, and key members of the creative team, and overseeing all elements of pre-production, production, and post-production, right up to release.
The macro stuff.
Right.
Ooh, okay.
Official
So
sounds-
you would be a
multitasker.
producer of Cedo Gaming.
I would be. Okay.
Yes.
That's a terrible, terrible thing to do. Well, nobody should give me that power, but okay. I like
Right.
it. I see what you're saying. That's awesome, though. Yeah, can we get her back? Because I want to ask her a million questions.
Yeah,
Tell me
she's
why you
actually-
quit Epic. Tell me why it was terrible.
Well, she's got a book out and everything too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe in reading. I question its existence.
You question the existence of books?
No, I kid. I love
Letters are
Audible.
Evil.
I'm an Audible fan now.
Oh,
my
my
God.
goodness.
Audible's cool.
I
Definitely,
have
I
a
can
bit
see-
of a problem. I have a little bit of an addiction to books, and I got cut off from Barnes and Noble and Borders about 10 years ago. And then in protest, I bought Audible, and I would blare a book while I read a book just to piss everyone off in the house because it made me so mad that they cut me off. And then they bought me headphones.
So they didn't have to hear your book being read to them. Because
Yeah, and then they
you
took
wanted
all my
everybody
books.
to read the book, not just you, but you wanted your husband, the kids, and everybody to read the book. You were trying
Look, if they're going to cut me off from buying stuff, then they're going to suffer too. That's how that works. Happy wife, happy life.
Right.
I've heard that expression. Don't have one of those, a wife, but I've heard that expression. I've heard that that's the way you're supposed to live a life and everything. Hey, John, you're over there in Kansas, and I was just curious. You know, when I think of Kansas, I think of music. We were talking about music, and I think of the jazz community. I told you I'm a blues fan. I definitely
Yep.
think of blues. But what is some of the myths that people have about Kansas that you would love to get shattered? Because we do love shattering myths in general, and you're over there in Kansas, so I'd
Well,
love
what
to
are
know.
some of y'all's? What do y'all want to know?
I'm from
No?
Oklahoma, so I know a lot about you.
Yeah, the state of potholes. Gotcha.
Fight you. You're so right. Why do our roads suck so bad?
Yeah. 10 million people and 3 last names.
Coincidence?
What?
Think not. No.
I'm just joking. Oh my
Yeah, 'cause when I
gosh.
think of Kansas, I think of farms and I think of music. And of course, y'all have some good baseball
Absolutely.
teams.
I think of jazz, totally.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, especially St. Louis.
Oh,
Tornadoes
100%.
come to mind when I think of Kansas.
I mean,
I live here for one.
the Jayhawks.
Kansas City Chiefs. We won the Super Bowl last
You
year.
don't like them because that's my brother's team.
That's okay.
I have to hate it. It's my brother's team. So
I like the Chiefs, but I was born in Washington State, so I'm a Seahawks fan.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I do like the Chiefs, but when I think of Kansas, I think of that. You know, there's some good fishing here. A lot of that. Good hunting. You know, you got these flat lands,
Mhm.
and there's. I mean, out of all the places I've been, I mean, I'll be honest, Kansas isn't the most prettiest, or in my opinion, the most gorgeous. Now, it has some of the most prettiest sunsets and sunrises because you get that field look, you know, like grass, corn, and you know, it's just really gorgeous with the green and that background. You know what I'm talking about? But
I
I
always feel
prefer,
like Kansas skies are closer. I know that sounds weird, but like the clouds, the sunsets, everything seems really crispy.
right?
I think it's because it's so flat that you see so much more, that you've got more depth.
Mhm.
So it makes everything look like it has more layers. I always love that. You're right. I agree. Concur. Continue.
Right, and you know, and it's been an interesting. I lived here. I've been in and out of the state most of my life, but I ended up back here. I think of one of the chats that I think of Dorothy. No, I have not met Toto. I did
How about
run
corn
in some corn, absolutely.
or wheat? Corn and wheat,
Uh-huh.
right?
I click my heels together. There's
I
no
just wanna
place like
say-
home.
I just want to say I just heard orange, and there was a letter that didn't sound like corn at the beginning.
You will hear things all kinds of wrong because it's that whole Wizard of Oz thing. And
I
everything.
mean,
Porn. Yes, we're known for porn.
I
I
was
got a
just
joke
saying,
for you. I was walking through Walmart one time and someone looked at me and said, "You look familiar." And I said, "Do you watch a lot of porn?"
you did not. That's the best answer ever.
That was a
Ever.
classic answer. I like this answer. Yeah, definitely liking this comic answer and everything.
That's
The
one
other
of
thing I
those
guess I do
questions.
think about is that whole Tornado Alley. So I do wonder if that still exists because I do think about
Oh, Tornado Alley's for real, for real.
Yeah, it's big. Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's still happening. They still get worried
Every
about
April
it.
and
They
May.
test sirens every week to make sure they
Yeah.
still work.
I was about to say, you and me, we've got that going on every day at noon.
Yep.
Or every Saturday at noon. We know what that
Wednesday here.
is. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday here.
Freaking. Okay, so just going back for a second, that whole thing that you just said reminds me of that question, like, does your mom know you're gay? There's no right answer.
There's no right answer.
And that's brilliant. And I love you so much for it. I didn't mean to say that.
Right.
Continue.
I got tons.
Mhm.
Little quips.
So
Those
how
are
did you
money.
get into comedy? Because I know Jacoby, our lovely host of the show, is a improv person and has done stand up as well. So
Ooh.
how did you get into comedy?
I was hanging out with a buddy of mine. I was in the 20s. And I used to, well, I'll just put it plainly, I was really stoned. And I was just spitting some shit on the fucking front of the thing. And it just was really funny. So he recorded it and he put it on YouTube. Well, it pulled a lot of views. And they're like, "Hey, man, do you want to try stand-up comedy?" So I was like, "Sure, why not?" So local to town, we had a bar here called Beer 30. And they arranged it out in the beer garden. If y'all know what beer gardens are, it's basically outside. You can drink beers,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
trees,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
all fun. I quit cigarettes, but it was nice to get out there and have a cigarette while you drink your beer. It's wonderful, But so I tried it. My first show went really well, and my first show was called Apparently It Is Funny, and then my second one was called
So-
Apparently It Still Is Funny.
Is it scripted or improv?
I was my ad lib, but I prepared weeks of my jokes and practiced on some of my close friends to see if they things. And then when it came to the show, I prepared and throw some
You'd go
zingers in there.
through and
At the time, I think the George Zimmerman case was real popular.
So a lot of that in your comedy
So
show?
I added that with my comedy in there and stuff. As safe as I could. I made a joke where he's not going to join the neighborhood watch.
Oh my God.
So it's just, but yeah. If anyone remembers all that, but yeah, it's
So
I did that for a while.
I like it. YouTube's what got you into it.
Yeah, a little bit. And my friends, honestly, there's kind of like a bet. Like, I dare you to do it. And I'm one of those people. I've lost a really nice watch to a bet for something stupid. I'm just one of those people, man. I dare you. All right.
Hold my
Where's it
beer.
at?
Yeah.
What do you need? Nothing, bro. Can you see the bottom? Nuh-uh. I'm going.
I'm going for it. Doesn't matter what the bet is. I'm just going
Yes.
for it. So, John, you're on Twitch, and I know you're on a couple of the other platforms. Do you consider yourself an influencer? Because I know we've talked about influencers on the show, and I've been shocked at how much money some influencers can make. Because I've definitely seen influencers been making a lot of money and all of that. So, would you consider yourself an influencer? Because I was shocked at some of these figures that I was seeing for some of these people that are influencers of one sort or another.
I wouldn't say I'd influence anybody. I would say I'm a content creator before anything else. I really like
How do you differentiate those?
content
what's
creator
your
to an influencer or someone,
what's
in
your
my opinion, who gets on there and there's like, "I got this new purse. Check it out. It is so nice. If you put it on with blue, it looks fantastic." Content creator is someone who gets on there, in my opinion, and is making skits and jokes. And I'm a very animated person, so I would say content. I'm bringing you content, not I'm not influencing you right now, unless this incredibly handsome beer is influencing you anyway. Then that's up to you guys.
I was thinking of throwing mine out. But...
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I would say I'm a content creator more than anything. And a streamer, first and foremost. I really enjoy that. I like talking to people. I don't got much of a shy bone in my body. So
what's your favorite part of streaming?
Engaging with the community. I
Do
think
you like
anyone who
randos
streams,
or do you like your regulars?
I like
As a streamer.
everybody, and as a
Yeah?
streamer, you want your audience to grow. I don't like
Yeah.
assholes. I'll ban them instantly.
Really?
You come in here spitting on your bullshit. I really don't care.
Right.
Bye. So that's easy. But yeah, I would just say I enjoy engaging with the audience. I said a while back to my wife, I said, it's kind of cool that people care what I have to say.
It is.
So you know what I mean? So it's there's excitement to see that number or anyone turning in to say, hey, how's your day going?
I love getting my regulars. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have
that makes
regulars
me
as well,
so
but I also
happy.
love the new people.
Doesn't it feel good though when they pop in? You're like, oh crap, what's up, Yoshi?
Right?
Like,
Or you see that too. Like I just started getting to like my 2 and 3 month subs. So I hit affiliate like 3 months ago.
congrats.
So yeah, and
Congratulations for getting that affiliate rank. I actually just got LinkedIn Live, so I was glad to get that and everything.
Right.
So anytime you get those things, it's amazing to have those kind of
it's been kind of crazy.
I bet.
I kind of like just threaded this perfect little needle. I've only been doing this for about 6 months now. So in 3 months, I got affiliate, and then I got sponsored by a coffee company.
Oh, how'd you get
Ratchet
that?
Gamer Coffee. I just asked them on Instagram.
That's all we've been doing too, is just asking.
Like, I literally tell people, what's the worst they can say? Say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in the same position you were in.
There's nothing to lose, and sometimes people just appreciate you have the balls to ask. So,
Right.
like, I was talking to the guy who owns the company today, sending me some care packages and stuff. So,
Ooh, that's nice.
so it's been a
Good,
journey.
because
for
my
sure.
coffee's out. So I'm just
I actually can
saying.
post the link if you want to talk about Ratchet Gamer Coffee. It's made by gamers for gamers.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
one of their brands is called like Salty Tears. The flavors. The whole joke is someone gets salty. Because it's salt.
That's what I need. That's the one I want. I want to drink the salty tears.
Me and my wife, the first flavor we tried was Extra Life.
Yes.
Which is an extra dose of caffeine, and they put hints. It's really high quality. You can get it ground or pre-ground or ground. And they don't do K-cups or anything like that. So it's real coffee. And I can post in Bull City GG. I'll just do that. Is that okay with you, Toby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely do that.
You got it in
If
the
you guys want
Discord?
to check it out, I mean,
Yeah, pop it in the Discord so that I can grab it later.
the Discord. I don't think I'm in the Discord, but there's the.
Oh, just kidding.
Hey,
I got timed out.
I get
I
you.
got to,
No,
Hey,
that's
Siren,
fine.
you were talking about the regulars. There's actually a regular that's been appearing on Pod TV lately.
Hold on, Mark. Just put it into the private chat here on the StreamYard, and I'll post it on because Nightbot is kind of aggressive.
You're good.
kind of aggressive. It already timed his ass out.
There it is. You use HXC Max, you get 10% off. Also, I want to tell you guys because
hold on, John.
Go ahead.
Because check this out. The birthday girl is here. The birthday girl.
It's your birthday?
Hey, that's right.
Happy birthday.
Hi, thanks, you guys. I did not mean to just pop on in the middle of what sounded like an amazing conversation. But yeah, all these days keep coming up that I say I'm going to pop in. Last time was Mark's birthday.
And
Today
it's
is my
yours now.
Yeah, so any excuse, I guess, to hang out at least for a little bit.
Hey, girl, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Siren?
you.
Is you getting
Thanks,
spoiled?
Mark.
That's the
Am I
important
getting
question.
spoiled?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's what we need to know.
I
Wait.
am not yet.
Not
Wait
yet.
a minute. No surprise birthday gift from
From your
the
big
wife
brother?
or from other family members? I'm surprised. That
There you go. You got
there goes my birthday gift. Hi, Bennett. See, there it goes. Hi, Bennett. Hi, Layla.
Aw.
Nice to see you.
Happy birthday.
Aw.
Love birthday.
My heart is so full right now.
Mine too. That's all I needed. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Okay. We love you. That was
Thank you.
adorable.
I'll hang out a little bit longer, but there you go, Mark. You spoke that up. Then Siren, you came through with the pitch, and Toby hit it home with the Bennett and Layla entrance. So
Yeah, way to bring that all the way around. It's not.
that was
and it was
When
all
in
planned. It was intended to be just that way. We planned it to be that way.
Right. Yeah, we
accomplished.
planned that.
Thanks, team. Thanks. And hi, guest. How
Hello.
are you?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Jacoby's sister, Janora.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday. You don't look a day over 25.
We'll go with that.
Right?
oh,
Yeah.
She goes,
I know,
we'll
I
go
know
with
my
that.
way around. Bounty points. I got 'em.
Janora, have you ever been
Jacoby.
to Kansas? Because our guest John is from Kansas, and that's where he's based at. He is a Twitch person and definitely based in Kansas. I know you're over there in California doing that whole acting thing and other podcasts and everything else, but definitely John is our Kansas video game guy.
All right. Well, hey, John from Kansas. I have been to Kansas City, Kansas once,
Right.
and you
there's
guys
two
have a great
sides to it.
downtown, right? Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, it's wild, but whatever.
Nice. Well, Midwest in the house.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the mountains, but I'm pretty close. I'm like 7 hours from Denver, Aurora. That area. So, but yes, we have some good barbecue if that's what you're gonna say. As well, the Kansas City barbecue,
Of
and the
course that's
downtown
what
is
we were
very
gonna say.
nice. They have that
yeah.
ice skating rink down there. I don't know what time you went there down the year, but they opened up the ice skating rink down there. It's really nice.
Genoa's
Nice.
California, so
All we're at. I've been to Huntington
I-
Beach.
You've been to Huntington Beach? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's where the only place I've been in California.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm not too far from there. I'm in
Oh, wow.
Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how
Yep,
did
I'm
I
in
not
Long
know
Beach.
that?
Yep, I'm in the ALBC. And I wish Kara then in that case was on because I'm sure she has great barbecue competition type stories from her three-way that she mentioned.
What? Whoa.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Siren, I think you missed that conversation. It's a long lead up, but basically she was talking about the three-way from Cincinnati, right? Ohio, that she had tried. So that fits along in my mind with the whole barbecue
it's not
conversation.
that three-way. that
Three-way
you're thinking
what?
about. Not it's not the three-way that you were thinking about where the orange wasn't corn.
Okay.
Not that
Okay.
three-way. Not that
We're
three-way.
talking about food.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a restaurant.
I'm just making sure. Kara came out this month. I don't know. I just want to double check. You know what I mean?
Wait.
I don't want to judge. I got no judgment.
A carrot came out?
No, Kara.
Kara.
Oh, Kara! I thought you were just... Oh, so I get it. So Kara coming out and then talking about a three-way from Kara. It's like, 0 to 100 real quick, huh?
Yep.
I was like, man, her college days caught up all at once. Like that girl just made up for lost time. But okay, got it.
Now we got it. I'm still getting over the fact that Janora thought that a carrot came out. I've heard of it.
Well, I mean, Siren is on the farm, so I just
Could be.
I was just going with something. I just thought I heard carrot instead of Kara.
This conversation has devolved so quickly, and I love it so much.
I was like, we just start naming phallic symbols. Let's just
I
go down
know.
all.
I know. Ah, bug! Ah, bug! Ah!
Well, I mean, we can't really go there because there's a
I'm just
notorious
joking.
building that's in Durham on the way to Chapel Hill. That's kind of its reputation, and
Use a
Jacoby
big
knows the
word.
building that I'm talking about.
Wow, I'm still stuck on Siren going crazy over a bug.
Hello.
Yes, that bug was having too much fun with you and everything. Have you made friends with the bug yet?
It's fine. I have much dignity. Many dignity for me. Everything.
Yes.
Yes,
Nobody
much
knows.
dignity for you and everything. I was gonna come back to what I was talking to John about when Janora came on, because we actually have. It's great seeing these fans that come on regularly. I know that there are people that come on regularly here, and I know that you've been on, John, as a viewer as well, and definitely others have been. But I can't remember if Ghostan has been on our show, but he's been on a couple of the other shows here, and it's great because he actually comes from Brazil, so he's become a fan of this network because I know he pops in on the news shows and gives us some news perspective from Brazil, and his Twitch handle is Ghost Hand and a series of three numbers. I want to say it's like 326, but don't quote me on the numbers. But I know it's Ghost Hand, and he is a Twitch person out of Brazil, so he's become a fan of our network because I know he's popped on a couple of shows. He's popped on mine. He's popped on definitely the news show at 10 o'clock, and he's probably I can't remember if he's popped on Gamers Den yet or not, but Jacoby can tell me if he remembers
Wait, does
that
he
name.
stream in Portuguese?
I've got to ask him that because I know he writes in standard English, of course, when he's sending us comments, but I do know that he is originally from Brazil and that he's very much active in the Twitch community. So I need to reach out to him and find out if he streams in Portuguese. If he does, is there
I
an
wonder
opportunity
that.
for him in Cedo Gaming?
To stream in Portuguese? I mean,
The big question is, does he think in Portuguese?
Oh,
the
I
answer
always
is
wondered if that
sometimes.
works. How do you think? Do you think? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that would work that way,
Yeah.
I think it would depend if you have an inner monologue.
right? My inner monologue is like Elvish, with
Because some people don't have inner monologues. Did you know that?
I
Wait a minute.
didn't know that. I thought that's impossible.
40% of the population actually
Wow.
doesn't have an inner monologue.
So they just fly by the seat of their pants. What are you
I
doing?
don't know how it works. I know. I have no idea how it works. My
That's
husband is
fascinating.
one of them. My husband is one of them. He doesn't have an inner monologue. Like, I'll sit there and I'll go, so when you make a choice, when you're looking at two things what does your brain say? Like, do you not go, I could pick this one for this or this one? He's just like, no, I just
You just summed
pick
up like
one.
every man in Boston.
Wow.
I know. I'm
He looks
just
at
like,
two things, and he's like, oh.
I know.
but
That's
wait a minute.
fascinating.
Siren, back up. How does he do that if he's going to a restaurant? Because I know
Yo.
that if I go to like a fast food restaurant, I have to have that. Well, there are some things
I
that I
know what I
might
want before I
go
walk in the
to
door.
regularly and everything, but there are other restaurants that I might have to have that inner monologue. Do you want the steak dinner or do you want the dinner that features chicken? So, like I
Look,
said, there's that inner
You
monologue.
can
So how does
ask
he
me
do it?
all day. I have no idea. I don't think it should
Wow.
be possible. To me,
Well,
that
what's-
sounds like a potato. This is how
Well, what's-
potatoes grow.
Oh,
Like,
well, what's interesting is you said 40%. I wouldn't have thought it was that high.
Mhm.
The second thing is I do understand the beauty of it because I feel like my inner monologue can just get to be too much. So I wish sometimes I could just shut it off and just be absolutely present, like whatever
Right.
it is. So I think in one way it's a gift. And the third thing about that is, yes, I am inner monologue heavy to the point where I speak to myself out loud.
Me too.
Which means I was so excited, not excited. Excited is not the word, but in terms of trying to find a silver lining for shitty situations. And that's part of the best thing about wearing a mask is I can talk to myself and nobody sees.
Right? I always think it's funny how you can do like whatever you want down there. I'll have the mask on. They don't see this, but underneath I'm like this. Right in their face just because you can. They have no idea. I'm a goofball like that, so it's just it's like you see some of those.
That actually raises two things that came to my mind. One is the inner monologue can get you in deep trouble because I know, and I've had this conversation on this show as well as other shows, being the elder gentleman about to hit the 6 number and everything that is still in that single space. I know that in the last 20 or 30 years, I've had inner monologues where I've talked myself out of good relationships, possibly even relationships with people that Jacoby knows and some people that he may not know and everything. So I know that I oftentimes have that inner monologue where I defeat myself because of the inner monologue. So the inner monologue, I agree, can get you in trouble because you're sitting there having too much of a conversation where you're like, do I want to talk to that person? Don't I want to talk to that person?
Be your own worst enemy.
I'm on the podcast now.
So yes, so that inner monologue happens. And the other thing that you said, John, about the mask is my guest yesterday, the one that I said is in technology, and hopefully she'll come on the show at some point or another. And she teaches because she's moved around. I think she's in Rhode Island now, but she may be in Atlanta. I can't remember where her home area was without going back to that back interview. But she was talking about how, mothers and parents, and I'm sure you even get this, John, and definitely Jacoby does, and even Siren, you have that look that you give your kids, and every kid knows that look, and teachers have that look as well. So she's a parent, my guest, and she was also a teacher. So she was saying that the mask kind of created a problem because, with the mask partially covering your face, the look doesn't have the same impact.
That's interesting.
That the mask is covering the face, so since it's covering the face, it doesn't have that same impact. Parents can give you that look that tells you that you've done something really bad.
Interesting. I don't
use
know.
those eyebrows. You got
that's what I was
Stern.
thinking. I never had an issue with that with the mask because it was usually in the eyeballs. You know what I mean?
Hence the reason they say
eyebrow.
that look.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, I also snap at him, and it could be the cussing too. I don't know. Maybe they knew. Maybe that gave it away.
Yeah. Well, I have got to go, you guys, and complete this long birthday list of things to do. But thanks for letting me pop in.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the birthday love. Don, it was really nice to meet you. Yeah. And Jacoby, thank you for the surprise with the beautiful kids and the beautiful wish. So I will take that with me throughout the day.
As you're heading out the door, are there any big projects that you can tell us about? Because I know sometimes you can't reveal things.
Yeah, well, I'm about to hop in my closet now and knock out a voiceover audition. Today's is for a commercial, but every time I have a video game voiceover audition, I think of you guys now. But those, have to stay under wraps. I can't really talk about those.
Wait,
Do I
video
have
game
anything?
auditions. Okay.
Yeah, she does video voiceovers
Elden
or video
Ring.
game voiceovers.
What's going on now?
So
John doesn't know which games he's been a part of.
Okay, so John, my first entrance into voicing games, I was on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I played a couple of different characters walking around that you could either beat up or make your homie. And I think I was even one of the strippers in the club. And I was a radio. I had a radio commercial running when you hopped in the car on one of the stations.
Were you one of TJ's girlfriend's voices?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was.
I played that religiously. I think everyone.
I was this big fat thug bitch on the street.
Yes.
So some folks don't think that I can flip it, but for that one, I flipped it.
Yes.
Kick some ass. And then after that, I did. Why is it not coming to me?
I'm sorry what the game's about, and I can maybe help you with it.
The Grand Theft Auto ripoff?
No. Oh, is that what you're?
You talking about Saints Row?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Saints Row.
I know video games.
That was beautiful.
So I was on Saints Row the third, and
I played all of those. Were you the main chick?
No.
Oh,
so
okay.
again, I was a voice in the Steelport, and just various voices.
That's cool. I mean, really, that's cool as hell.
Well, the game so far where you can actually play me or be me as a single player is Call of Juarez. Oh shoot.
Okay, I know what that is. That's Wild West.
Call of Juarez, the cartel.
Yep.
So that's the one. So usually people think of it as a Western, but this last installment is how do you get the Mexican cartel? You hire a dirty DEA, a dirty FBI, and a dirty LAPD agent. And I played the dirty FBI agent. Her name was Sue Evans. And you can see me.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was super cool. And now we'll just have to wait and see what comes next.
Do you use your voice for any of them, or they just let you use your natural voice?
I used my natural voice for most of them.
I can do two voices. Nice. That's it.
Oh, what are your?
I can do Gollum from Lord of the Rings and Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. That's it. Oh. Well, I can do the deep guy, the announcer guy that does the trailer videos. You know, are you ready?
That's good, John. That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, then, thanks for letting me shout out.
That's really cool.
Myself. And if you want to follow me, anybody who's watching, I am at jmcdz on Instagram, which is probably what I use most.
I'm active on Instagram a lot. So.
Oh, cool. Are you at
HXC Max TTV on Instagram?
Now, what does that mean, John?
TTV is
HXC
Twitch.
Max. TTV is Twitch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
HEC Max was from when I played Halo 2 when it came out on the original Xbox. And HXC back then was a short acronym for like hardcore. You can kind of see it in there. My last name is Maxwell, so
nice.
I've had it for like 14 years. So
Wow.
Oh, and look at your kids. Oh my goodness.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Well,
And
nice to Oh, congratulations. How old?
7 months.
7 months. Oh, pandemic baby.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier.
Real quick.
Everyone, See, I told you guys. For the rest of his life, he'll be like, "What's your birthday?" He'll be like, "November 17th, 2020." They're like, "Oh shit!"
We know about you
every time.
Yep.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, then I'm sure this is not the last. I will see or hear from you. And again, thanks for letting me stop through Gamers Den crew.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Have a
Bye,
good
girl.
one.
I will maybe check back in one of these days and let you know how the day went.
Sweet.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, babe.
All right. Hey, Jacoby and John, did we ever hear whether there was a baby boom? Because I remember that was one of the fears during the pandemic was that everybody was going to be sitting at home and there was going to be this great baby boom. And I know that there were different stories.
That
And I
a
think I've
fear?
heard mixed messages, but there was this thought that there was going to be a baby boom. And I remember that I want to say it was in Texas recently that there was like a group of folks that had like a baby individual boom. So like it might have been in one of the bigger cities. I can't remember whether it was Houston or San Antonio, but they had like a time frame of 2 weeks where a bunch of babies were born, and that became big news in the world because I remember seeing that story.
Yeah, was an influx for sure, but like generally as a race, you can look this up right now. We're just not procreating as much as we used to. But yes, there was a little bit of a baby boom. But if you do the math, she would have been conceived before 2020, so before the COVID started. So it wasn't a part of COVID. It was just a really good Halloween night. So, but yes.
Wait, November is the 10th month. It's a 10-month, 40-week, 10-month
9 months.
gestation.
Yeah, he was a little late.
Oh,
somewhere in there. Yeah. It's like,
So-
gosh, where is she? She's down. I don't know.
That'd be December. That's a Christmas baby.
Yeah, it's Christmas, baby, not Halloween. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you know, both
Merry
nights were probably
Christmas,
good.
huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I had Christmas and cookies.
Yeah, hey yo.
Having his own holiday.
Yep.
The other thing that I saw that was interesting, it had really nothing to do with video games, but we love talking about pop culture as well. And I was watching TV and I saw, and I'm going to age myself again, but I saw a Medicare hotline and I saw a certain person that was hawking that hotline, which surprised me because I didn't even know that he was still out there hawking products, much less hawking that particular product. But, there was a popular show in the 70s when we had those sitcoms that were African American oriented and everything. And of course, there was the Jeffersons and there was a number of other ones. But I saw that Jimmy Walker was hustling Medicare. So definitely he was out there hustling Medicare and all of that. So he was given the hotline and he was their main spokesperson. And then one of our local people was hustling, and he's younger. He might be closer to Toby's age, but he was hustling a prescription drug, and I thought he was doing a lot better. But that was the guy from Hangover. So I saw that Ken Jeong was out there hustling like a certain drug as
Ken
well.
Jeong.
And I'm sitting there going what's going on?
You do realize that bills never stop.
Right. Exactly.
So the man needs money. Both of them do.
To be fair, he's a doctor. I think he can find it.
He's fine. It's Jimmy Walker who's still
Jimmy Walker?
Dynamite.
Oh,
JJ.
Yeah, JJ Walker. So
Gotcha.
he's actually still touring, if I remember, still doing his comedy tour.
Oh shit. He's like for real hustle still.
Yeah, he's still. I mean, like I said, the Bill man still keeps coming by.
I know, but it hurts my feels.
Yes, he doesn't stop at everything. So I'm sure that even as a parent and a Twitcher, that I'm sure John is glad he got that sponsor that he's got because he helped him pay those bills. And I'm sure that he's still doing stand up and other things because you're right, the Bill man doesn't stop.
I haven't done that in a very long time.
Like, how depressing is it when you see the people that you love doing these commercials? Like seeing Salt and Peppa doing a freaking, like, what was it, like a Walmart commercial or whatever the crap it was. I was just died inside.
Well,
or Digital Underground did one, or
Mike Tyson did the hard lemonade.
Yes, why? It hurts my heart.
Because Ice-T is doing Car Shield, and now he's brought on Grandmaster Flash. I think
I'd do anything. They want me to sponsor a pencil. I'd be like, this will write the best way you've ever seen. I don't care. That's funny, man.
I ain't proud. I'll tell you
people
all
hate
about
on
the
people
lead.
for Shaq being in every freaking commercial. I'm like, that's man's marketing. That's a genius.
That is
Who cares?
I don't know. I think what it is, there was a White Snake commercial a while ago or something that I saw, and I just remember thinking, like, those dudes used to have panties thrown at them. Just walking down the road.
Right.
Just panties thrown at them, and everything in the panties thrown at them.
Yep.
And now they're doing.
Everyone got pregnant.
Yeah, and now they're doing a Subway commercial, like, "Oh, how the mighty have fallen." Oh, that's all I'm saying. Is I feel like we went from hardcore badass to like, would you like some, Metamucil? Good for you,
Hey, like I said, the bill collector still comes by, and when you get used to living a particular lifestyle, you want to keep that lifestyle even in your when your star is no longer there.
I guess that's what it is, right? It's all about the lifestyle. They just want to keep it.
Actually, what is it? ESPN's 30 for 30 did a great job on talking about how different players in different sports, for example, 70 to I think they said 70 to 80% of the professional players, regardless of sport, end up flat broke at the end.
That makes sense. That sounds like lottery
because they don't
winners to
invest.
me.
They just live like they're,
And it's not even that. It's
Is
not
it
that
tax?
they don't invest. It's the fact that, take for instance a basketball player. That basketball player, when they get into the NBA, they're roughly about 18 to 20 years old. That 20-year-old player is now trying to figure out how to invest and do all this with his money. Well, he gets an agent. They sign their rights. I forget what it's called. Their rights to their finances over to that agent to control their finances. Well, that agent invested in this and that and the other thing. You could end up flat broke. Then on top of that, if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, have you ever heard that term before?
Yeah.
You try and live that
Good
life.
movie.
Yes.
You try and live that lifestyle.
The covenant of the moon.
And your man gets a Bugatti. Okay, well, I got to get a Bugatti. Well, I can't really afford that Bugatti, but I got to get it too because he has it.
Honestly, I feel like one of the bigger issues that you see, and not just with the NBA players, but just anyone with a lot of money in general, that it's contract oriented, is they end up using that contract money to buy a 35,000 square foot house, right? Which is fine while they have the contract. After that, though, they can't pay the property taxes, they can't pay the electricity, they can't the maintenance fees. They forget a lot about the secondary and tertiary ramifications of their investments. So maybe it works when they've got the contract, but once the influx runs out, in order to keep what they already have, they're out there hawking their likeness to Subway.
Yeah, I mean it's that's part of it because if you think about all the lottery winners, the vast majority of people who win the lottery are broke.
Yeah, I think statistically it's only 0.01% that stay in the top 10 after like I think 3 years.
Yeah,
they almost all go bankrupt.
You get this influx of money and you forget about everything that comes afterwards. You get a lifestyle and then you can't pay for that lifestyle on a regular basis.
I also think it has a lot to do with, people getting a large sum of money that have no clue how to do
exactly.
Right.
Well, yeah, because I know in North Carolina, and I'm imagining it's in other states as well, there have been people that have been pushing, and I think we've just had our first one, and the second one is supposed to be here, being announced soon, but they're getting lottery money and a significant amount of lottery money just to get vaccinated because they want to make sure that the vaccinations are going on and all of that. So I know that, and Jacoby can correct me, I know they announced one winner, but I think the second winner is supposed to be announced soon and everything. But
wait,
imagine
they're doing
that
a lottery
they got the lottery in order to get the vaccination that they're supposed to get anyway, and then you get this influx of money, and a lot of people probably have no idea what to do with it, and they'll wind up buying maybe multiple houses or multiple cars and giving it to their parents and their aunts and their cousins that they didn't even know they had because the cousins would come out of the woods and everything. Because I'm oftentimes fascinated by the celebrities that, I get it if you have like a cross coast kind of existence that you might need multiple houses, but then you got some of them that got like 4 or 5, and I'm like, you can only live in one at a time, and unless you're doing like some serious leasing, what are you doing with 4 or 5 houses?
It's keeping up with the Joneses. And that's what happens. And you want to live this particular lifestyle that you see on TV. Like I said, that 30 for 30 was very eye-opening. It was
well, I know a lot of the big, at least musicians. So when I danced professionally, I know a lot of them will have multiple homes. So one of my students danced with Madonna, and one of her homes in LA is for her dancers, her costume designers, and all of that. So like she sometimes will live there if they're not there. It's her home. They're not renting it per se, but it's kind of, so maybe it could be something like, because I always think that too. I'm always like, why do you need 4 houses? There's one body. Your ass can only sit in one fucking chair. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have that many? But I at least as far as musicians, I can't speak for anyone else because I don't have any personal experience, but I know a lot of them keep extra properties for like shows or their production managers and stuff like that to stay in, which is nice. I think,
Right.
you know.
I put my priority in different things. Like, in my house, I would I'll be honest with you, I would have my computer area, my TV, like the technology things in my house would be bonkers.
Right.
But my
256
socks, I get
megahertz.
at Walmart.
Yep.
My shirts, I got some flippy floppies on. I'm pretty sure they were $10 off the rack.
Yeah.
I don't care. But my computers and my
Mhm.
monitors, I don't give a here. Take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so easy with me with technology. Other shit I really don't give a shit about. I just really don't. I spend more money on if I had extra money rather than people. I'd buy like 4-wheelers and those kind of fun stuff. That's what I'd like to get. Stuff to go play. And
No, I agree with you.
Here's another random thing that I always think about with these kids that aren't getting like the socialization, because I am a huge proponent for getting the socialization when you can. Meaning, like, so for me, I'm disabled, and getting a lot of my socialization online is money. You know what I mean? Because I get to be me, like I'm normal again, but it's in a safe location. I'm not going to catch COVID or fall on my face. So I think that's awesome. But then at the same time, the only reason that a lot of it is fun is because I have the context that goes with it. Because I did grow up playing outside, because I did have, the socialization and work and school and all of that. Well, now, I mean, I do worry about that. I worry about contextually. I feel like the kids are learning in reverse. And I think that that's where the problem lies between us. Meaning, when you or me or any of us that are probably over, 30, 25 or 30 play a game, we derive pleasure from the game because we can associate it with something we've already done or something we wish we would do, right? These kids are playing games from such a young age. I think the way they see it is that's their first introduction to a lot of these situations. So they actually look at it in the reverse and see the physical part as the secondary, where we see, do you know what I mean? They would derive pleasure doing it in the physical world only because they would liken it to a game. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times trying to get my youngest out, that's what he runs into. He's like, no, I'm okay. I don't want to go out and garden with you. I'm going to garden in Roblox.
Well, I wouldn't want to go out and garden with you.
I know, gardening sucks.
I think I want to put it in another context and add something else to it that my dad's significant other put out there. Because I do sometimes wonder what Sarah's talking about if we're not too quick to react. Because she sent a letter to family members she's connected with, meaning me, my younger brother, and everything. But it was about a person that she's connected to in her education field that was in another state, and I don't remember which state it was. But they were at a grocery store. They had an incident. Some words were exchanged and everything. And they kind of like had that reaction. And unfortunately, that person then was shot and killed because that person had that automatic reaction after they had that kind of reaction to what was going on. So I do sometimes wonder if young people aren't too quick to react, even from different generations. Like I said, they would just, maybe he flipped the bird at him or something like that. But then that person went and took up their gun and tracked him down and took him away from this world.
And that again,
you have rednecks that do that have never played a video game in their life.
Right.
That's just an easy that's that easy out of, hey, games make people think. It's not really that, because as Siren just pointed out, you got people who never play games that do that.
That's why there's no road rage in Texas or in like Texas and Bama and all these lower states, because that they probably have a gun in the car.
Yeah, right. and so there is road rage in Texas, lots of road rage.
Oh yeah, there is. I just mean
I think it was in Texas. Now to think about it, and that was kind of my point, was that, and it wasn't so much about video games, but are we as a society too quick to react because we just have this attitude that we're afraid of whatever's going to go on, and we're not thinking about what the consequences might be.
So I think that is where that communication where we forget about communicating and go to that reaction. That communication is getting lost because we lose how to talk to each other. What Siren had talked about earlier about communicating with her son on a different level, she can get upset at her son, and if she didn't have that gaming, they would probably go toe to toe back and forth. Same with my kids.
It's a great analogy user. It gives you fodder for analogies.
And that allows for that communication. And now you've got the bond and you guys can talk. That quick reaction is because rather than using, hey, look, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to just go ahead and fight you because I'm mad. Well, there's that communication where we could de-escalate the situation. That's all about de-escalation. And we forget about that because we're wanting that. What's now that 5 seconds of fame that, okay, well, you're not going to listen to what I have to say. So you know what? I'm just going to fight you anyway.
I feel like everybody's forgetting the fact that, like, you could be a good person and do a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely.
The things that someone does, the actions that they do don't necessarily reflect wholeheartedly on their character or anything like that. And people tend to try and bundle that together. Who you are as a human is now concurrent with your viewpoints. And if you don't agree with me or if you're attacking my viewpoints, then you're no longer a good person, which is they're not
Nowadays,
correlative.
people can't stand other people's opinions.
It's so weird.
Insane.
Isn't that weird?
And you tell me you all want to be the same. We all want to like blue. I mean, what the hell? I don't want all of us to like blue.
If everybody's looking in the same direction, who's going to catch the fire in the other side?
Well, nobody
we need that. We need everybody looking at different things, seeing different parts of the same thing, because that's the reality. Reality and life happen, and they're so complicated. Absolutely no one looks at it the same. Go ahead.
So as an analogy, I know John and I were talking about earlier Lord of the Rings and how he loves Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
I enjoy Lord of the Rings, but I think Game of Thrones, forgetting season 8 because season 8 was just not even really Game of Thrones.
Right.
But Game of Thrones I felt was more realistic, if you can take
it was
realistic.
But it's more realistic in the sense that it plays
the White Walkers are more realistic. I'm sorry, that's a whole man.
We're
talking about this subject.
You should come back so that we can have that conversation because I'm ready. You and me, let's do this.
Any other adventure.
But the reason it's more realistic is that if you look at the orcs, all the orcs in Lord of the Rings.
We should.
All
of this one later.
All of the elves had one purpose. All of the hobbits had one purpose.
This is a 3-hour conversation. I'm not getting into it right now. There's no way. There's no way. None.
The elves did not have one purpose, and there's 3 different branches of elves. You have wood elves, you have the river elves, and then you have the high elves, which is Elrond, and the ones in Rivendell.
Oh, it's getting real.
The wood elves were the ones from The Hobbit, which was the one guy.
In the wood elves, did any of the wood elves want to backstab the other to become king?
No, they wanted to put aside the world. They didn't want to be involved. That was their agenda, just to step back and let it happen. Same as mission of the Ents. The Ents wanted that to happen.
Faction had one purpose. In reality, there's what we were just talking about, how we don't all want the same thing or all look in the same direction. In Game of Thrones, everybody wanted their own thing. In real life, everybody wants their own thing.
But the differentiation between the one story and the other, the reason that you've got that is because one is an ensemble in that it works with individuals. That's Game of Thrones. The other is an epic with entire civilizations, whole cultures, all of that. I mean, you don't get a lot. I've read all
entire civilizations.
I've read the entire Game of Thrones too. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fans. I actually do agree with you. I think it's more realistic.
I've seen it all.
That's all.
Yeah, I think it is more realistic because I think that it's darker. But to be fair, I mean, I think once the Amazon show comes out and you see what kind of went down in the Second Era and you see all of the politics, because I don't think that the movies went into that unless you really read the books and you kind of the Silmarillion, the last book. Thank you. I can see the word in my head and can't pronounce it.
Okay, I'm not. This is my world. We're talking my world right now.
Yeah. Which one played in that gray area?
Yeah, that is true. But you're talking.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see Sauron's deceit and all that because he appears to them as an elf. It's really cool. It's really honest.
It does. Game of Thrones does live in the gray, and there are darker tones. I mean, you've got a lot of incest. And to be fair, it's based off of real life. I mean, it was based off the War of the Roses.
And that's all I'm saying is that it plays more in the gray area, which is more realistic than the more black and white that Lord of the Rings did.
Yeah, that was
That's the only thing.
pure
That's the only
fantasy.
comparison because we can do a whole. Yeah, we got to do a whole story about Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. That'd be fun. But and the same thing. We got to do the same thing because I tried to have a discussion with somebody. This is a tangent, by the way, about how Naruto is better than Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no idea.
Somebody wanted to argue with me that Dragon Ball Z was better. I got to bring him
It's
on.
just the route. It's the route Dragon Ball Z went, and that's the only reason.
Wait, how do I-
Classic Dragon Ball Z, top tier. Let's get that straight.
I don't know.
This new
Naruto,
stuff is just brutal.
yeah, Naruto was my thing though because it just
Oh yeah, I watched it all, man. Absolutely.
phenomenal story.
all
Murder, She Wrote was my
900
favorite.
episodes?
Yeah.
Isn't there like 930 episodes
I
or
don't hate.
something?
I'm
of
still watching
Naruto?
One Piece. Let's go.
Yeah, One Piece. I still watch Fairy Tale too.
I've seen all Fairy Tale.
I love my Fairy Tale
Absolutely.
so much.
Urza's Bay.
Mhm. Yeah, right? I'm here for Lucy, but okay.
I got you. That redhead woman. She can scream at me anytime she wants. Please.
All I know is I love me some Saitama.
Yeah.
One
Punch Man. Season
Yep.
2 was a little lackluster. But
Yeah,
yeah.
season 2, but season 1 was just phenomenal.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Chat said that's a good
Yeah.
one.
So it
too,
sounds
guys.
like y'all are talking about
Attack on
this word
Titan.
that I heard about earlier when I was looking up
Attack on
Epic
Titan.
and everything, which is this whole concept of this metaverse, which I did not realize was even a term and a word because I'm not the big gamer in this conversation, but I do love having conversations even with my video game friends and everything. But definitely I was sitting there going like, so there's whole universes being created. So what y'all have been describing sounds like a perfect example of 2 or 3 metaverses that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the first metaverse was Grand Theft Auto.
You think? Over Mario?
Well, actually, it's World of Warcraft.
Ooh.
But the one that's more realistic would be Grand Theft Auto. That was my stuff. That was my stuff.
I played a lot of WoW. I played vanilla WoW. I
I
actually
can't-
recently
Like
switched
the
over to
early
Final
video games
Fantasy
did that.
14.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't do WoW anymore. They gouge
they
you.
destroyed it.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
So the early video
Shadowlands is
games
so
did not
bad.
have metaverses. You would not say that Pac-Man or Tetris were metaverses as well to some degree.
Mm-mm. No, they don't have full. I mean, there's not a full storyline in those. That's why I was thinking, but like Mario did.
Oh, yeah.
Mario had an entire story. I felt like that was the first one because I feel like I remember people.
Actually,
The reason they added Duck Hunt was because people were getting bored and weren't really into the story because they didn't care about Mario at the time, right? So I mean, I think Nintendo may have been the first
no,
one.
Pac-Man. No, actually, one of the originals would be, well, technically Defender didn't really have a story, but
Mm-mm.
then they brought out E.T. The
What
worst
about
thing ever.
Does
E.T.
Galaga have? But Galaga has one too, right?
Galaga had the same story as Defender. There was no real. It was you had Space Invaders. You had.
Oh, I thought that was the difference. I thought between each level of Gattaca, or you had the Gattaca, the movie with Ethan Hawke.
Wow,
My bad. Sorry.
that was bad.
I know, right? Yikes! Nobody wants to remember that. I don't even remember what I was talking about. That was terrible.
That was
You just ruined your train of
Continue.
thought.
We'll
That's
move
what
on.
you did.
No, forget
Lost
it.
your
You thought
train
about
of
that
thought.
movie and you were like, "Fuck! I just went stupid."
Yeah, my brain just exploded, melted out of my ears.
The brain exploded and everything. Hey, John, is there a product that you would not endorse? Because you said that you would do a pencil and you would definitely hawk a pencil if you could. And I'm sure you would probably even hawk salt or some other products. But is there something that if somebody came to you that you'd be like, no, that's okay. I can't do it. It's just wrong.
Sauerkraut.
Suppositories.
What did you say, Sarah?
Sauerkraut.
Suppositories.
Suppository?
But
I will
some people
never-
might like that. I mean, come
I
on,
will
man.
never. At no point will you be like, you'll see Ren just like to ease the itching. Like never.
It goes in to make it come out.
Yeah, that's my line. I know you didn't ask me, Mark, but I'm gonna tell you.
No, and I'm curious about Jacoby. So, Jacoby, is there anything that a product that if they came to us at Gamers, then you'd be like, nope, can't do it.
Has to start with an S. No pressure, but
Um,
ours started with an S. So
Right now, bring on all comers. Yeah, I can't really think of one right now. I mean, we do
Hair
This-
growth gel.
That makes me want to invent a product, just like the most ridiculous thing, and I'll pay you like $100 to
Hey,
just
100
be
bucks.
on the air and sell it for me. Oh my God, can I do that?
You can do it. $100, we'll do it.
All right, give me a couple weeks to come up with
Yeah,
something.
make a product. We're gonna do it. $100, we're
Sarah's
gonna
gonna
do it.
make a product. She's product development now.
Ooh.
Sarah is making a product that's gonna be like a product that nobody really wants to sell, but it's gonna be something that the Toby's gonna go ahead and sell anyway, right here on the Gamers Den. So
Spoiler alert, it's going to start with a GIMP mask.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
Can't
And the
wait.
first thing you got to do is sign a waiver, and then you get the gift.
Do you have any
What is it?
breathing
I'm telling you.
problems? Are you
But make
allergic
sure you
to
write down on
latex?
this and hand it to
How do you feel about leather? Is that okay?
me.
Can you run blindfolded? You might want to practice.
Are you good with your ears?
Yeah.
Your surroundings. Quick on your feet.
See, we can do whatever. $100, go ahead.
Ooh, I like it.
Everybody, some
That
leftover-
is dangerous, bro. You should
here.
probably not admit that you'll do anything for money. I think that's how OnlyFans started. Just FYI. Like,
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
So that means we got to do a Gamers Den OnlyFans now. Okay.
Oh,
No, we got to start our own site called Only Mans.
OnlyMans. You can buy games
And I'll
or feet
fart.
pics.
Hold on. We're all getting old, so we'll do Only Depends.
Only depends.
We're not
I got
that
a joke
old.
for y'all. Y'all want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Little crude, but it's funny as fuck.
I'm ready.
What does an 80-year-old's pussy smell like? Depends.
Yes.
that was bad.
Also, not wrong. I mean, is it a joke if it's true?
It's fun.
I can't say any of my jokes because that one was beautiful.
I can say anymore. I'll call it.
Mine are
there.
vulgar.
I got, yeah.
Mine are
Like that
bad.
You know, I watch Jackass and find it hilarious. So
Yeah.
I'm one of those. You know,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I watched the YouTube fails.
right? I find that stuff funny. It's me. You know, people like dry humor. Some people like slapstick humor. You know, it's just.
I like what makes me
I
laugh.
like what's funny. I like if it's funny, it's funny. It could be anything.
funny, it
Dad
makes you
jokes are
laugh.
hilarious. But I do have
Dad
some
jokes.
vulgar ones. You know, I find some humor in some of those.
They're the only ones I can remember. I don't.
Right?
That's it. I've been told a million jokes, but for some reason, the only ones that stick in my brain are the most vulgar jokes ever.
Santa's gonna. I'm on the naughty list,
Yeah.
guys. I know.
It's terrible.
But don't you hate it when you have those jokes in your mind, Siren, that you've already got the punchline, the whole setup, and then you can't pull off the joke because it doesn't have the same impact as when it was given to you?
Well, and then you're disappointed. You're like, everybody
delivery.
laughed at my joke. It was amazing. I
Right.
laughed. Like,
I'll admit, if I say a joke on doing the shows and stuff, I laugh at it. If nobody laughs, I just keep on laughing. I'm having fun.
I like that you admit to laughing to your own joke, and you're so good with
You
it.
gotta make yourself laugh. That's the
You
best.
do.
Usually when I did my shows, I always started if the jokes made me chuckle or I find some humor in it. I think everybody else probably would have found some humor in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Jokes are the
So,
best.
I always find that awkward that, you know, you're sitting there with your buddies and you're remembering a funny experience. You're like, hey Billy, you remember that was real funny? And the guy's like,
No.
You just feel so no, bro, come on, dude. It was,
You were
Billy,
there,
Billy,
remember? You were there. Come on, remember?
you left high and dry looking like a moron. Thanks,
Mhm.
man. Thanks, dude. Yeah.
And then after he's like, oh, I remember.
Right.
I'm like, no, dude, it's too late. Fuck off. You're like, no, we're
We
done.
missed the moment. Moment's
Don't act like
passed.
we're friends. We're not friends. You're like,
No, you missed a moment, or like those jokes that have their situational jokes, so they have a situation, and then you think that you remember the situation right, which has the punchline, and then your friends and acquaintances are going like, no, but that's not what happened. So the joke totally is like missing its point because they're sitting there going like, you know, you set this whole narrative and the way that the joke is supposed to be with your punchline, and then they come back and they're like, but that's not what happened, and then you're like, oh shit.
yep,
Yeah.
totally. I narked out one of my friends in high school thinking it was her, telling the story to everybody. It wasn't even her that did it. I was all proud of her because she went all badass on a dude. And he dumped her and everything, and she you know put shaving cream on his truck and all this. I was like, yeah, Like, nobody messes with my girl. She could take care of herself. She don't need nothing. You know what I mean? And she was like, that wasn't me. I think that was his brother. And I was like, oh shit. Like, my
That's
bad.
hilarious.
So yes, I feel you, except I'd already told everybody. And oops.
But Jacoby's always got perfect timing, perfect delivery. He never bombs on any joke at improv or anything. That never happens to Jacoby because he's perfect.
I can't tell if there's sarcasm there or not. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to
I know.
laugh.
There's tons of sarcasm in that one.
Whew.
I mean, we need a sarcasm GIF to pop up right on top of Mark's head right now.
Did you just say Jeff?
Yeah, I did.
Jeff.
Yes.
His name's Jeff.
GIF. Peanut butter.
Jeff.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. Where he at? Where he at?
Right?
Now, there we go. There we go.
By the way, C-Lab 2021. I don't know if you guys have watched that.
C-Lab.
Oh, from
C-Lab
way back.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
did you
seen
say
that.
2021?
Yeah.
There's an. You stop. Nuh-uh.
I thought it was 2021. Was it 2020 or 2021? Which one was it?
Oh, I thought you were saying
Ukraine.
there was another one that they redid it and this year.
Yeah, because I thought they redid a new one.
Did they?
Yeah, C-Lab 2021.
You shut up. I
Yeah,
did not know that.
the cartoon series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they restarted it and now it starts
Well,
goes
they
up
haven't-
2021 or was
No. It's still the same one from
That's okay.
2000. But
Oh, got ya.
they're playing it because it's 2021.
Oh, okay.
And
So they like
then-
remastered it and stuff?
No. They're still
Dang
playing
it.
the ones. I like the old ones. The old ones was hilarious.
I just thought maybe they like cleaned them up, like to make them more high def or something. Maybe that with the re-release, sometimes they do that with the re-releases when they did like Archer and Boondocks and stuff. They like remastered them a little before they did it. Oh, that's cool. I had no idea.
Well, they got a new season of Boondocks coming.
I
Oh,
know.
Boondocks, what a
I'm
good
so
show.
excited.
Have you guys ever seen Final Space or heard of it?
I do like
Mm.
Final Space. Final Space.
Great hidden
Final
gem.
Space.
Watch it. It's really good.
Final
It's really funny. It's classically funny and it's good. It's
Oh.
original.
Yeah, Final Space is good.
What's
Final
it
Space
on?
is good. It's
VRV. You can also watch it on Hulu, I think now, or HBO. I think it's on HBO.
Okay.
It was on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim.
Yeah, or VRV anime.
Yeah.
I watched it on VRV. That's where I saw it.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
then I'll look it up for sure.
Final Space.
Really good, adult cartoon for sure. Good story. I mean, honestly, it was a good story. Jacoby, I really liked
It
it.
is.
Hey, Jacoby, apparently the Boondocks had a video game. Did it work well, or was it not work as a video game? Because I'm just looking up video games. I do remember Boondocks, the TV show, and
I didn't
I didn't
remember
realize
it
there was a
was a
video game version. So did it work
Wait,
as a
what?
video game?
I didn't realize there was a Boondocks video game.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I had
Well,
no
that
clue.
shows it must have done well, but apparently it is a mobile game. Apparently, but yes, they said the Boondocks video game, and apparently it was. I'm seeing an article back in 2020 and then 2021, so maybe it's a new
So
version.
it's new?
It says I'm putting it up on Wiki, but it says the Boondocks video game is an action sports performer type game, and I'm curious to see what else it's got to say. Oh, based on the animated television series from the Boondocks series, made for the Sony PlayStation. So Sony PlayStation,
Just
as
PlayStation?
well as the Sony PlayStation Portable, the Sony PlayStation 3, and the Sony PlayStation 4. And apparently it came out, it looks like I'm seeing references to 2016. So it looks like it's been out for at least a few years and all of that, but definitely looks like they tried to make a game around it. It also
I
looks
don't
like
even know what that would be in sports.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They did an article on it on 2018. The Boondocks returns as a video game, inappropriate. Yeah, I don't know.
It must have just been because they didn't have shows going. A video game person was just willing to get more content out, maybe?
Possibly.
yeah, that could be what happened and everything. So maybe they just made the video game and it went nowhere, or maybe they canceled the idea, or maybe they couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, I don't
Off
think
the
it went
ground.
anywhere. If none of us have heard of it.
Right, yeah.
Interesting. Well,
I wonder if they're going to make a video game about Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah.
That's not too soon.
How would that go about?
You just
now hit
wander
A
around the bar
button
trying not to
and
fall
pick
asleep.
which pill you want to drop into the drink. A for this one, B
Yep.
for this one, or Y for this one.
I love that
Do you want her to
initially
wake up in
went to.
3 hours, or you want her to wake up in 6 hours? You need
I
to
love
choose
that
B.
you went for being Bill, and I went for being the girl in the bar trying to get away. I'm just gonna throw that out. That's
Man, I
hilarious.
sat here and shook my head the whole time.
I feel like it would be like one of those maze Pac-Man things where you're just like, run to the left,
Yeah,
not
run to
that
the
drink. Run to the right. Like,
Instead of the yellow dots, it's pills.
yeah.
Somebody will probably make it too.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I might play that. That kind of sounds good.
No, yeah, I probably won't play because it'd probably be silly like Postal. You remember that game?
I don't remember Postal.
Postal was a first-person shooter where they wanted to be as vulgar as possible.
Wait a minute. First-person shooter Postal. Nope, good.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what they tried to do. They even had not Emmanuel Lewis. What's the other
Todd
guy?
Bridges.
No, not Emmanuel Lewis was.
That was Webster.
Yeah, the other one.
Urkel.
Not Urkel. Who worked with Todd Bridges?
Jeff Bridges.
No, I thought Todd Bridges and Urkel were together.
No. Who was on Different Strokes?
Oh, different strokes. Gary.
Yeah, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman, right?
Yeah, Postal was supposedly had a character that was similar to Gary Coleman, and that was part of the whole pull too.
Wow.
So, yeah, Gary Coleman didn't have before he passed. He didn't really have much, and yeah.
Oh, and he took the money to be in that game?
Well, I think they gave him the money. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Character within the game.
Man, you got to be. Oof. That sucks. That's not how I want to be commemorated. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't want to be the shooter in Postal or die in Postal. Poor
Right.
Gary Coleman.
You want to be the reader.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be.
So yeah, it was such a bad game. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah,
I'm pretty impressed somebody tried to make that.
Across.
I shared. I sent you the link of him in the chat. I'll post it in the actual Twitch chat as well. But yeah, that's Gary.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yep. It was a bad game.
And John, what's the worst game that you've run across? I'm sure you've run across some bad ones, and I'll ask Siren the same thing since Toby just mentioned a horrible game that he found.
Well, it's not necessarily a bad game. It was a good game. It's like they stopped giving a shit about it, and everything they promised in the roadmap they didn't deliver. And I'd say Anthem was probably the last one like that.
Anthem had so many things it was supposed to do that were great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It had a good system, right? Flying around the javelins was absolutely incredible. I loved the combat. We liked everything about it. But the end game, I mean, you might as well have been, licking stamps, putting them on envelopes.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. It was so boring. And they had a big roadmap and they just didn't come through. Promises and empty promises.
That's the same thing. Remember with Fallout 76?
Yeah.
But at least they fixed.
They turned it around a little bit. So did No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Another one.
No Man's Sky is now great.
It's huge. Yeah. They turned it around big time. It's a big game now.
Yeah.
So
where did Siren go off to? Did you see that we've got a major rock star whose daughter is going to be in the Olympics? I saw that yesterday. That was fun news and everything, but she's going to be riding horses. So Jessica Springsteen, Bruce's daughter, is actually been named to the Olympic team. So she's going to be on the equestrian team, and that's her claim to fame in addition to being an equestrian is being Bruce Springsteen's daughter.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess since it's 2:11 now, we should actually try and wind down the show. Don't want to keep everybody around.
Right.
Yeah. Especially ending on Bruce Springsteen's daughter being in the Olympics. I'm trying to think of, is she going to have the boss as she's going around?
You're right, because I hadn't thought about that. Because I think that some equestrian sports do have theme music behind them. So maybe she will have the boss going as her theme music while she's doing her demonstration.
That'd be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
For sure.
But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and close the show since I think Siren may have had to leave. I don't know. She just kind of disappeared. I think something came up for her. So I guess we'll go ahead and close the show. And John, we're gonna have to play again later.
Yeah, man. Have a good time.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to come back anytime.
I'd love to. Absolutely.
Next time we may have to play a game. You know, I'm determined to get Mark in on playing games.
Well, I think Mark, if he had any game, I think the easiest one would be Among Us.
Yeah,
for him to get into. He doesn't have to be a pro gamer to understand how to play that.
True.
So
yeah,
all he has to be is intuitive.
Ironically, today I just took that off my phone because I had couldn't quite get it right and everything, and I had to, having
on the phone, I think it's hard.
Android,
on the computer, it's so much easier.
I had to release something in order to put something else new on, but I'm hoping to get a better phone, and when that happens, then I'll have more space and everything. But I had to do that juggling thing, so I was like, I'm not playing Among Us, so since I'm not playing it, I might as well bounce, and I am using Clubhouse, so that wasn't going anywhere. So Among Us lost the battle of what was going to be sacrificed, so it may make a return on my phone.
All right, because we'll try it next week. Everybody, even the people, I'm gonna post it in the Twitch. Once we start up a game, we're gonna post in the code to get into the room, and then we'll all play Among Us. Look at that, Porter came through. Porter, big time. Love Porter.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, next week, Mark. Make sure you got it on your phone. We'll play Among Us.
All right.
Am I playing Among Us?
Of course, you playing Among
Thursday?
Us.
Okay, yeah, cool. Let Siren know she wants to be in there too.
Oh yeah, everybody's welcome. Because like I said, I'm a post.
I probably could snag a couple for my community if you wanted.
Definitely. Because we'll get everybody going. See what happens. Get all. See who kills who.
See who kills who, and we haven't done something that we used to do it.
Oh,
at the beginning of the show, and Jacoby's glad that we haven't been doing.
Mark's freezing again.
Yeah, he did say he was having some weather.
I'm to come back and bring my badge.
You're just cutting it out, Mark.
Oh Lord! All right, Mark. Everybody. Oh, there you go, Mark. You back? Nope, gone again.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, there you go.
Am I back?
Your voice is back, but you're frozen on screen.
Going on with the computer and everything,
Oh my god!
A couple of times
There you go.
we were just in and out thing, so definitely will.
The suspense is killing me. I'm trying to.
Right?
Like a giant.
We're on the edge of our seat, Mark.
In that regards, and everything.
What regards?
Yeah.
You said regards and didn't say nothing else. Wait, what?
Oh. Okay. All right. I guess we'll close the show on that then. John, thanks for joining.
Absolutely, man. It was a blast.
Tell everybody where we can find you.
HXC Max Twitch. Swing on by. I'll be probably going live here pretty soon because I got the new set of Magic out today. I want to go see what my family's doing, but I can imagine pretty soon I'll be going live.
All right, cool.
Yeah, just HXC Max on Twitch.
Awesome. Make sure everybody follow John and everything here as well.
Absolutely.
Gamers Den. We'll see everybody again next week, 12 o'clock. I may go ahead and stream some later today and throughout the week. I got to get back into it on a regular basis, but definitely next Thursday, as usual, 12 o'clock on the dot. We have some fun. And next week we're doing Among Us. So make sure you join.
Yeah. Dope.
All right. We'll see everybody. Y'all have a great
Later, guys.
later.
Y'all have a good
Everybody.
world.